First of all, I'd like to give a big warm welcome. This is the first English episode that we do, an English-speaking episode. Did I give you a glass of wine? God damn. Right in my fucking intro, man. Fucking my vibe. God damn. No, today, welcome Alec Toselli and Gustavo De Rocha.
Thank you so much,
Thank
brother.
you very much.
Very happy to be here with
It
you.
is a pleasure. Just to give the people listening a little understanding of who you two motherfuckers are. We met each other in acting school in Paris, 2000 and what? When we meet each other?
You better ask Alec. He's very good with that kind of shit. When was he, Alec?
I would say 2018.
2018,
You
yeah.
started the year before.
I started the year before, that's right. Yeah, but you are, I mean, you're both actors. That's what that's where our connection comes from that acting school, right? Now, you have both gone on to do several different things afterwards. I mean, you're born and raised in Brazil. Now you live in Sweden,
Yes, sir.
right? You live in Stockholm now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some motherfucking artists in the building.
Yeah, man. Some art. Just keep crossing our minds every time that we sit down,
So that just reminded me, we need subtitles for Gustavo from now on. Hashim, can you do that? Can you, with pieces of paper?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. No, honestly, man, it's a great pleasure being able to do this with you guys, and we've been talking about it for like half a year or something like that, and it's an honor to actually be able to sit here with you guys. And I was thinking about this on the roof. I was thinking about you guys and the rest of my friends, but to be lucky enough to have friends that inspire you and that that really does something for you enough so that you would want to have them on your podcast as fucking guests. You know what I mean? I think that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, definitely.
It's fantastic, man.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to have you come to Sweden. After Paris.
Yeah.
Because we found a wonderful, beautiful group of people that, for me personally, finding that connection was just fantastic. And then, I feel very fortunate to have Gus in the same city.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just knowing that you're so close to us and knowing that you're right there, it's just, that's something that really pushes me to want to create even more. I mean, we talk about that all the time. You guys know what I'm saying, just constantly want to grind, because I know that if I'm not doing some at the same time, you fucking, I call someone and say, what are you doing? He's like, I'm building
I'm
a
not
house.
fucking.
I'm building.
What are you doing? I'm fucking.
No, I'm fucking building a house right now, and I was like, God damn. So, but you know what I mean? You guys are constantly doing something. So that's I'm very grateful to have you guys around me, because we just, there's this feeling that we are constantly wanting to do stuff, and that's that really, I feel that we really connect on that
And it's not only in I feel in an artistic sense, because it's the people around you should also be inspiring you just by the way that they are. You know what I mean? You, for example, you have a very, very positive outlook on life, right?
Thanks.
And it's very inspiring to see someone who has not always had it easy when it comes to, if we're talking about materialistic stuff, if we're talking about economy, all that stuff. But since we met each other in Paris, I'm sure everyone else will agree with that, you've always been the most positive person around.
No, thanks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's that's a kind of an inspiration that's golden. You know what I mean?
I think that comes from the fact that materialistic, it was never something, even back then when I was in Brazil, it wasn't what I actually valued. You know, I was always like, you always want something such as like, you know, because in Brazil it's very difficult to have some of like, you know, this kind of lifestyle or like, you know, but I feel like even back then it would be, you know, I would hang out with my friends, like just like I do with you guys and like, you know, just fuck around 24/7.
First of all, tell people where you're from in Brazil and like, and that whole vibe, like where you grew up and stuff.
So basically I'm from this town called Belo Horizonte, which is basically translates into a beautiful horizon. And yeah, and then it's weird enough, it kind of makes sense because when you're there, when you look around, you're constantly seeing like the mountains. So we're literally the city in between, and then you just see horizons of like mountains surrounded by it. And yeah, that's where I'm from. And yeah, what was the other thing you asked me? What was it that you asked me?
That's that shit.
I like the fact that even before, yeah, he's like,
I was paying the table.
Don't fucking slap my table. He's the one doing it.
Don't fuck with the audio.
Yeah,
no, but it's just to give people a perspective, and I know you have a lot of fucking, you know, crazy, funny, tragic, sad, all that stories from where you're from, but I was just asking into the situation of where you grew up, you know what I mean? Because you had a very big contrast when you were younger, because you lived in a, what would you say, working class, middle class neighborhood?
Yeah, it was a mixture of everything, but like we were born in the area was like definitely like working class slash rich slash, you know, like, but I was broke, like so broke. And, but that again, I hate saying like I was like broke because it sounds like I was like a victim of being broke, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, I mean, it was just, there wasn't much money around, so it was, I think like, and that what actually built me into who I am, because when you don't have money, all you have is your fucking creativity, bro, and that's all you gotta fucking use it, you know. So and then you know all the stories that like, you know, what I did to get money, like, you know,
we're gonna get into some of those stories today.
You know, so you had to be creative, man. You know, it's just like from selling everything you can.
I was gonna say, because you said like it's such a positive, you know, like energy when we met you in Paris, you know, and but you know, we've gotten to know that, you know, that was, you know, that was your outlook obviously on how you want to move about, but you know, beneath the surface you were really grinding in Paris.
Oh yeah, there's
like,
some stories that
real,
shoot.
Because our friendship started by you cutting my hair, and I had no idea that you did not have any money when you were living in Paris. And I honestly, I didn't understand why you wanted to come from one part of the city all the way to where I lived in Paris to cut my hair for 12 euros or something like that.
Yeah, it was, you know what I mean? 12 euros.
Was it 12 euros?
Yeah, but sometimes you would tip me, which was fucking nice.
but see, that's...
He was a fucking nice client. That's why I would come over. So you actually tipped me so good money, bro. I was like surprised. Because you'll be like, what's a good tip? And I'm, you know, I'll be like, I don't know, like fucking 5, 10. Who's like, I'll give you 10. And I was like, oh, that's fucking nice.
But what's fucked up is that I did not know anything about your situation back then. You know what I mean? When you told me how you said that you had some like, what, 2 euros per week or some shit like that?
Yeah, some crazy shit like that. I didn't,
When you told me this half a year ago, I was like, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know this back then, you know what I mean? I was just like, oh, this guy really loves cutting hair and he just want a little extra money for the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that the people whose hair you were cutting, they were the ones who were like...
fucking goddamn, like buying my goddamn food for me in Paris, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, now talking about your childhood, but what do you think the relation to childhood circumstances is to your need, I'm going to say need, to create as a grown-up? You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, like...
What do you think the relation between childhood, like what you go through as a child, what's the relation between that and then now? Because we're sitting here, including you, Hashim, we all have a need inside of us to create something, right? A way of expressing ourselves, if it's through photography, music, acting, writing, you know what I mean?
Are you? Let me see if I understood you correct, because I don't want to just start talking, even though. Like,
Did you understand my question?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear.
Yeah.
You've talked too much already, bro.
All right.
You need to mute that
All right.
motherfucker now. He's
He's muted.
Go ahead, Alec.
Man, like I heard someone say that in terms of like actors, that one thing that a lot of actors have in common is like moving around a lot when they're kids. I didn't move around that much, but I can relate to like the feeling that, you know, when you do move, you're kind of introduced to an opportunity to reinvent yourself a little bit and be like, oh shit, you know, and just to notice that your sense of identity doesn't have to be, you know, like in this one box, you know. So I sort of started sensing that every time I moved. But in, you know,
did he answer your question?
No, yeah. I'm just.
he answered it in an Alec type of way.
Yeah.
Because Alec always answers shit in 5 layers.
Exactly.
There's dimensions to what Alec says.
I said,
you know what I mean?
listen to him is like listen one line from Shakespeare. You know, you gotta take some time to fucking like process.
Oh, for sure.
Go home, talk to your mom, and be like, "What the fuck just happened?" Yeah, like,
No, but like in just in terms of like your sense of identity and also like the different characters you play depending on what certain like
As a kid?
just as a human.
Or as a, okay, yeah, for sure. For
so
sure.
for example, like when you were in Brazil, do you now have a sense of you can look back and be like, well, you know, in this type of surrounding, I needed to be this type of person in order to, you know, make stuff happen.
oh, I see you guys mean now. Yeah, I mean like
for example, like we said in Paris, you were such a fun, positive guy to be around, but you know that was like one aspect of you that most people got to see.
yeah.
Whereas, you know, like you said, behind closed doors, you were really like you know, struggling to get enough money and stuff. And we, as you know, getting to know you, we didn't know this at the time. Yeah. So.
You understand the question now?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting guys for me to answer. God damn it. No, I feel like stop slapping that goddamn fucking table.
Man.
No, man. I feel like, yeah. As a child, there was.
Get this going though.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, that's okay. I'll wait for you to get this going.
No. You go on. Continue, bro.
No, I feel like definitely as a child there was this need for being seen.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like as a child.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think what?
Yeah, why did you have a need to be seen as a child?
As a child?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was almost like a subconscious kind of feeling, you know? Like you just... Everyone have that, bro. What are you talking about? It's like everyone have it.
No, but I think that... Well, no, I disagree. Because I think some kids have a much bigger need of attention or to be seen or to be heard than other kids necessarily, and it comes in different ways. I mean, I think first of all, where you are in your flock, like of siblings, that tells you a lot. Like we went to my grandma's garden, you and I, and my grandma told you about how always, like when I was a kid, you know what I mean? I was dancing and entertaining and shit like that. So I think, and it's also the environment that you grow up in. You know what I mean?
I know, I see what you mean, but what I mean was like everyone needs to be seen, no matter. It's like no one wants to be, and what I mean by that is like if you're hanging out with people, with your family and so on, you want to be included, and that means like you want to be seen. You know what I mean? So you just imagine, just right now, even you, Hashim, just imagine right now someone that is just doesn't want to be seen at all. Like everyone should be heard. Everyone wants to kind of like have that connection that we always talk about.
And be understood.
Absolutely, you know.
I think maybe what it is some people, they show it more. They're more expressive in their need to be seen. Because you're right, it is a core feeling, right? But some people maybe show it more than others. You know,
no, absolutely. But let's just acknowledge the fact that you guys smoking this goddamn cigar and I can't see shit. Let's just open the goddamn window over there. It becomes like a fucking sauna here, boy.
Here we go. You don't like it?
I do.
God damn.
Oh.
But yeah, no, for sure. But how was your, like, talking about needing to be seen, what was your way of...
I got to share.
Huh?
You go away.
Yeah, it'll
That
go
window's
away.
open, right?
It's fine, bro. It's fine. Welcome to the podcast. Got a little smoke going on. But what was your individual, your unique way of wanting to be seen back when you were growing up in Brazil? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that it was completely different than yours in Sweden. You know?
Yeah, I think it was like almost a survival thing.
Huh?
Survival.
In Brazil?
Oh yeah, you have to survive.
Tell me
24/7.
about that.
Well, you live in a country where money, it's not, money is just like the biggest thing you can accomplish, right?
Yeah.
And that's what was taught, right? So for that, you need to like stand out from the crowd, you know. So you gotta do something that's just that you need to do something completely different. You need to be brave, the thing that you like, courageous, the thing that you like to talk about all the time. And I think like as a child, I just somehow understood that, like again subconsciously. And I wasn't as a child sitting down like fuck, you know, like Hash does it, fuck, you know, like gotta get this thing, like, you know. And you know, like, but it was just like, you know, this. It's just almost like the surroundings taught me that, without even like like knowing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that, you know.
Yeah. So money was a big part of the everyday, you know, the everyday hustle back then.
Yeah.
Bro, you told me you sold hamsters, man. Like let's just talk about that for a quick second. I want to clear the air about that. I want to see what that shit was all about. Did he tell you? Were you there when this guy said he sold hamsters back in Brazil?
You didn't hear that? You didn't. Look at.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
I mentioned, didn't I?
Was that the weirdest thing that you sold?
Oh no, bro! I sold. Fuck.
Hamster, and you said dead hamsters too, right?
Nah, they weren't dead.
Like dying.
They were dying
In the transaction.
in the transaction. Hashim, you didn't hear that. I would turn them like their face towards me, and I would give birth first, that they wouldn't realize that the hamster was dying. You know what I'm saying? There was that kind of grind that was constant, and then that goes back to like understanding that just like you gotta be fucking smart, bro, because otherwise, you know, like I had an agreement with this guy. Shout out to what's his name? Batista. That was the guy who fucking gave me the hamsters. He's probably dead now. Shout out to him. He'll be like, no, you always gotta come back with the money. I'm like, yeah, but those, like, you don't understand. This is very difficult. Like, as I'm selling them, they're dying on the transaction, right? I remember saying something like that. It was like, they all dying or something like that. They were like, that's stupid. They're not dying. They're just asleep. And I was like, they're not asleep, bro, because they don't usually wake up. That's what the kids tell me, you know? Because I used to sell that in the, outside the school when the kids used to kind of like come out.
Some people sold drugs outside the school. Gustavo, he sold hamsters, dead hamsters. Yeah. That is.
They weren't. Listen, man.
Why didn't you just sell drugs, man? Why didn't you just go the classic route? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's because you were a little hipster in Brazil. You're like, fuck, I need to.
But answering your question, the most because there was thing I tried to sell a lizard one day. Nice, sure. I swear to God.
You tried to sell a lizard?
Yeah. But like the thing, it was just like I promised the guy that would like sell, and I would get him a lizard, because in Brazil we have a bunch of lizards as well, like those tiny ones.
I'm sure
you know those, you see some of those in Italy and stuff like that. But I was like, yeah, man, I got this lizard, and fuck, I'm just, do you want to buy it? And he was like, fuck yeah, I want a lizard. And I was like, okay, man, I'll go get it. But what I meant by that, like, I had to fucking,
go find a lizard.
Yeah, go hunt. You know what I mean? Like, because, I didn't have a fucking lizard at home, like.
Did you hear her say go hunt?
Yeah, just go fucking hunt a lizard. But, fuck, I didn't get it, and so I didn't manage to sell it. But I tried to, so. What was the weirdest thing you sold, Alec?
Oh, the weirdest thing I sold?
Bro, up in Norrköping, they don't sell shit up there, bro.
Oh, bro, I can. Alex is one of those. You ask him, he'll definitely have some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think it was a little hustler hidden inside of you.
No,
for sure.
no, not at all. No, I tried once to maybe become a salesman. I tried it out for like one day, and I was basically just following this guy who was already a salesman.
Yeah.
And he was just knocking, door to door type.
What were you selling?
Something about a telephone or network or whatever.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I wasn't really listening, but either way, we went into this like pizzeria or whatever. Then they've been fucked before, and so
what?
They've been fucked over before. Like yeah.
Pizzeria.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
So he was like angry as soon as we came in.
Yeah.
I was just observing, but at the end of the day, they were like, "So, I think that went well. You want a job?" I'm like, "Yeah, let me think about it." I'm like, "Fuck hell, yeah, it's not for me. I don't know." Nah.
No, you never sold in like anything like weird. Have you sold anything weird? Sammy? I can tell, Sam, you've sold some fucking weird shit. I can tell. Look at his motherfucking
I did.
face.
Well, I sold phone cases at some point.
Phone
I used to
cases.
buy it like at my first high school.
Okay.
You thought I was gonna get myself into trouble there? No, sir.
Oh,
He was scared for
you
his
went-
life too. He was scared for. No, I sold with one of my friends back in the first year of high school, the first high school that I went to. We would buy phone cases, like cheap phone cases with Louis Vuitton on shit like that on it, right, from China. We would get them
Straight from China.
Yeah, from China, from some Japan, something like that. And then we would all get like a shipment, and then we just walk around the school, and we would make like a Facebook page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where we just sold these iPhone covers. That's it.
Did that go well? Did you make money?
No,
on that?
bro. I think I sold 4 cases, but
That's bad.
We ended up with a lot, but it was like
Yeah.
it's that mentality, and I like people that in their childhood, always tried to sell some shit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's that mentality of, because that little money that you're gonna get from selling phone cases or whatever is not gonna make you rich. But I think it's also the game of it that we kids we think that's exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go hunting for that lizard. That must have been exciting. Like, maybe not in the moment, but then when you think about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's a hustle. It's a fuck. What if I make this work? What if I get this lizard to actually sell it? It's like the game of it.
Yeah.
We're always selling something,
For sure.
It doesn't really matter what.
Oh wow, Alec. Yeah, here he comes.
God damn,
I
here
agree,
we go
bro.
again.
Yeah, here we go.
No, I agree. Please don't. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
No, we'll sell people on ideas, and we sell people on whatever it is, whatever type of service we're doing. Like Hashim, you got your pictures and all your clothes and all of the stuff that you've been doing. And as an actor, same thing there. You're selling an idea in a way.
Yeah.
And
what idea do you, Alec, think that you are consciously or subconsciously selling the most when you interact with people? You know what I mean?
That's a good
Is
fucking
it-
question.
like as a person.
Huh? Yeah, as a person, because you are. I mean, you're a very spiritual being, right? So is it, for example, is it the art of lucid dreaming? Is it like what idea do you feel that you're selling? When you talk to people, not every interaction, but that because we all preach sometimes to our friends, you know what I mean, and to people around us, something that we know, that we have figured out, that we also want other people to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying. I think just from what I've heard from people that I know. You're going for one?
I never smoked those before.
Don't inhale it. You need to put it in your mouth, boy.
Oh, I do?
Hey,
I
put it
see.
in your
You
mouth.
can tell. I can tell. Wait, fuck, he was gonna lose his thought. Don't lose your thought. You okay? You got it?
I'm okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
just put
Let's
it in
go.
your mouth. All right, let's go, Alec.
Yeah. So basically, one thing that I just have heard over the years is that I'm aware of it too. I'm a calm guy, in general.
You're a very calm guy.
Yeah,
You're a very, very calm guy.
So I just in terms of something that I guess I give to people that are around me is just a sense of calm. And you know,
okay, I see.
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the greatest wealths in life is peace of mind. You know, but I do remember like a couple of years ago I was starting to lose that. You know, like I think a lot of people did. You know, over the pandemic and shit. I sort of lost my cool, and then I started realizing like that's one thing that I know that I've been given to people, and then that sort of scared me a little bit, you know, because I would not want to lose that.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. That is like from looking at you from the outside, and as a friend, knowing what sort of a nutrition you've given to me, but also other people around you that I know is that sense of calm. You know, we knew that shit was fucked up in Paris if we saw you angry.
Yeah.
Which happened, what, once?
Yeah.
Twice, something like that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So that was always, and I thought about this a lot, it was very, very inspiring thing for you to have like inside of you, that you just spread this calmness and positivity as well, but like in a very subtle, you know, and calm way. You know, that was. Why do you think that you got that though? Because it's not everyone that has it. You know, people are chaotic in 2022. Why do you think that you are so good at keeping that shit? You know?
Yeah, I think it's both something.
You don't smoke weed, so.
No.
He forgot that he doesn't smoke.
It's warm in here.
This shit is horrible, by the way.
I don't know where you got it, but it's.
You like it?
I think it's fine, bro.
Really?
It's fine.
I mean, as a whole, I never do anything of that. Did I smoke? Hash was looking at me and he was like, "What was it? Did I smoke it? What were?"
I mean, it just looked like you got a heart attack or something.
Was it that bad? Wow, you really fucking doing it. That's pretty cool. Wow. But like, actually, I have a question to you, Alec. Do you feel like this? What blows my mind is the fact that you are aware of it. Because you guys keep telling me all those things. Oh, Gustavo, you have this positivity, and I'm not aware of that.
You're not aware of it?
Not like
For real?
Not the way that he talks about it. Like he almost going through like psychological like breakdown of what he knows about himself. I'm like, you know how I am. You guys know how I am. I'm trying to find my thoughts in my head, and I'm constantly fucking losing them. So, you know what I mean? I'm just not. I don't feel I'm so aware of like how I am as a person. You know, like.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been like the reflective part, or the becoming aware of like internal processes. You know, that's been something I've been fascinated with. You know? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I started meditating around high school. And
That's when you started meditating?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's been. But you know, as you go on, it feels like I don't do it every day, but it's
meditate.
Yeah, it really depends, you know. But I think it's one of those things where, you know, yeah, you can make it into a lifestyle. But then again, it's if everything, you know, if the goal is to be mindful or to be lucid or, you know, present, then, you know, you can do that, you know, wherever. But I feel like I've realized that when I've felt myself becoming unstable, then it's perfect. It's a perfect practice to, you know, go inside yourself and become like more, stabilized. Yeah.
Do you do that, Sammy?
Do what?
Like kind of sit down and kind of like go in your thoughts and be like, let me just stabilize myself. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I remember you were talking about that one, like for like a while ago. You felt like you were putting like, how do you even do it?
Huh?
You hit yourself on the mic?
Yeah, I hit my fucking
All
mic. Sorry.
No, I remember you talked about like a while ago. I don't know when it was, but you felt like you were putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and you went like a full week out with your dog, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah, no, the out there in the summer
riding.
house.
Yeah, the riding, right?
No, I was not riding there. I was just doing like a week in the summer house with no phone, no looking at the clock, no like no external form of entertainment. Only books. That was the only thing I could do, and I couldn't I was not allowed to say anything. Like I was not allowed to speak.
Like to your dog?
Not even to my dog.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I didn't say anything to anyone for that week because there was no people out there, so I didn't really meet anyone.
For a week.
Yeah, for a week. But it was out in this beautiful place in the north of Sjælland, right?
Oh my God, bro!
But that was definitely helping me stabilizing myself. But also it made me become better friends with myself because of the amount of conversations that I was able to have with myself, as opposed to constantly looking at the phone, watching TV, or listening to music, or doing something, talking to my friends, whatever. You know what I mean? But just as well as a relationship to a friend needs to be nurtured by the by conversation, by diving deep into each other. You know what I mean? By constantly seeking deep into each other. It's the same thing with yourself, you know, and that's one thing I really found out there, is how important it was for me to all of a sudden have so many conversations with myself in my head, you know, because I wouldn't do that when I'm listening to music or talking to other people or whatever. So that was like, that was very, very interesting.
Wow, that's some and then you know why specifically you think that you had to go put yourself in that situation to actually go through the experience, you know?
Because I feel like I was not stabilized. I felt that I was not completely in, not that I am now, but I think it's something we're all working on, but like I was not in balance with myself. I was constantly, I was being very negative towards myself, especially in terms of work.
Okay.
If it's writing or acting or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was not very, I found out I was not very good friends with myself. You know what I mean? I was kind of looking at myself as my own sort of competitor in a negative way. It was not like a you know, I've always loved aspects of myself. I've never had super negative thoughts towards myself, me as a person, my life situation. But there I just noticed too much negativity towards myself. So I was like, I need to go work on that, you know, and that needed to be in complete silence.
Wow.
With my dog.
Yeah.
Because, bro, and I became much better friends with my dog as well. Like the way that we just connected, because we just sit, I swear to God, man, sometimes sit and look at each other for a long ass time.
Yeah.
You know, we would have conversations up here.
Mentally,
and the same with myself, just looking out. Because it's crazy how little time during a day, you know, the general person spends just doing nothing.
Just being. Yeah.
Just being.
Really?
Just doing nothing.
People do that?
Huh?
Yeah.
Doing nothing? Who people? Wait, you said like people spend like a lot of time just not doing nothing.
No. A lot of people, like most people, don't spend very, very little time doing nothing, because we're constantly consumed by all kinds of things. You know what I mean? So yeah, that just, I feel like that really gave me like gave me a boost in being nicer to myself after that 1 week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's you know, we all have our ways, and I don't think that one is right and one is wrong. It's all unique to us, and that trip for me was just because that fit into my journey at that specific point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel.
To some it's something else. To some it's starting to meditate. It's you know, it can be 500 different things.
Yeah.
But it's a constant journey, I think.
Such for lizard. But like I forgot what was I gonna say.
Do you meditate? Have you tried it?
Me?
Yeah.
'Cause
you need it, bro. Shit.
Why would you say that? Hashim, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Hashim just fucking like fist bumped this.
You never tried meditating?
I ain't got time for that. No, for me it's just like meditating is just I think I need someone. And I mean Jesus Christ, because
you need God.
Yeah.
You're not religious though, are you?
Nah.
No, God would fucking hate you, bro.
Oh, I know.
He would hate the shit out of you.
I know.
He'd be like, you tried to get up to heaven. He's like, not tonight, baby.
What do you mean by that?
Get your ass
Like,
down where you belong.
What What do you mean by that though? Like you would need like you said you would need that, or you would need.
Like God?
That's what you said.
Yeah, you say
So
you would need Jesus.
Oh, I would need something bigger than me to try to kind of like, you know.
But don't
like,
you believe that all, like, you know, all, if we're talking about higher powers, if we're talking about God, or like, you know, don't you also believe that that is all something that is, you know, inside of us in a sense?
Objection. Leading question, Your Honor.
I will not.
Shut your ass up.
I will not. Yeah.
No, but don't you believe that? It's like when like really religious people say
Yeah.
that God is inside of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just for me. It's just like I'm very. I wouldn't call myself like a spiritual person, you know. So I don't have a lot of like experiences that it's just like everything for me is like what I see. I see you right now. I know you saw me. I see Hashim right now, and that's, you know, I go more for facts rather than like those feelings that like I've never experienced them, so I can't tell you. So yeah, like I know I usually go for what I see or for what I felt, you know, like. So I never felt like God being like, hey, hold on a second, let me just give you some. I never had that, you know, like because I have like a bunch of people saying I never, you know, especially in Brazil, like you always have like those what do you call, like Judas witnesses. What do you call those guys? Like they say like they go to like a church, and then they give them like a pamphlet, and they're like, oh, now you saw
Jehovah's Witness.
what you call them?
Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say, but like. Yeah, so like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say, man.
You dropped the train of thought. God
No,
damn
but
it,
I
shit,
had
it
a
happened again.
beautiful thought. But it is what it is. It will
But
come
it's
back.
interesting when you talk about like things that you cannot see, because I think that you and most other people do, if they know it or not, but do believe in things that they cannot see necessarily. That it's not, you know,
Yeah.
just a simple thing as like
A feeling.
huh?
A feeling. That's
A feeling, bro. Yeah, that's a good example. You know,
Yeah.
love.
I believe.
What is that? Hatred. What is that? Jealousy. You know, those kinds of things, or even like smelling. Smelling is like, it's not something you can see. It's like in the air. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So
No, I'm thinking like so like during that week with your dog, you were basically, you know, removing a bunch of distractions.
Yeah.
Right? But I know like you, Gustavo, you like one distraction that a lot of people are struggling with is like their phone use, and you're on your phone maybe once a day, like for a little bit.
Yeah. Like for example, time I was
your phone microphone a little bit down.
like this.
Yeah, just put it down. Boom.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah.
That's
Go
fucking-
on.
What was the question? I have short-term memory, by the way. Like
No,
my memory.
no one could tell.
What I say? You're talking about some like asking about him.
Yeah, just like for example, you're on your phone maybe, you know, once a day.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, so I do that because I like to be with my friends instead. Simple as that.
Wonderful.
No, but you know, it's just like we're just being, as you said, consumed 24/7. That's why I was asking you, why do you have to get away to actually be able to be just with yourself? I personally, because what I do usually, like on my ride in the fucking metro, I just don't do anything. Just fucking sit down there. And then I was talking with someone. I was like, oh yeah, I do that. I was like, well, that's fucking crazy. You don't listen to music or anything? I was like, no, just enjoy the ride. But like just by yourself, I was like, yeah.
But I do think that like for example for you, like when you're really feeling like you're you know, losing your shit a little bit, losing your balance, being in nature really, you know, really
for
helps.
sure. And not looking at other people all the time, because whenever you look at other people, you judge. You can't you judge.
You judge.
You think, oh, that's a nice shirt, or oh, I don't like those shoes, or she walks funny, or he's walking in a very cool way, or you know, we constantly being positive or negative. We constantly, you know, judge in the back of our minds. You know what I mean? So being someplace where there was no people at all, it was just yeah. But what do you think about what Gustavo just said about like, we're talking about what you cannot see and touch? Because I know that you believe, like as I said before, you're a very spiritual being, correct?
Yeah, it was.
That's like,
I mean, you know, it really depends on how you define it. But yeah, I dabble.
No,
but,
you're into lucid dreaming. You're very much into the subconscious mind, and you give me a feeling that you definitely do not believe, or that you definitely do believe in things that you cannot see and touch.
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. For me, I feel like once again, this is just coming from me, but I look at life as one big dream in a way.
Explain that real quick.
So
Real quick.
real quick.
Explain that real quick.
Like,
No, don't real
yeah.
quick, but just explain that.
Like this is a short version.
Yeah.
No, but that I've been fascinated with like lucid dreaming, and
Yeah.
that started out in a
And lucid dreaming is.
Oh yeah. You had a guest talking about it on your show, right?
Yeah, I did. Just so people know, it's being aware that you're dreaming as you're dreaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So some people might wake up and they had a really vivid dream, but that's not like lucid dreaming. Lucid is, like you said, knowing that you're dreaming as you're dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep dreaming and you look around. It's like, I mean, it's really difficult to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it, but the feeling would be similar if you could imagine realizing right now, like this scenario right here is not likely, like physical reality.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're sitting here is kind of a surreal feeling, so you can get close to it. But
The fact that we're sitting right here at this table is a surreal feeling.
in a way,
Okay.
at least for me, like seeing my friends from Paris, and all of a sudden we're sitting here. And
I see. It's not a normal day-to-day type shit. Yeah, so this could
that's
be
the
a
thing.
dream. Okay.
This could be a dream. And then what you do, which I'm gonna have to do like now, is I'm doing it like a reality check. And I just, for example, look at text, which is something that morphs a lot in dreams.
Yeah, and what's the deal with that?
Can you see what it says? You see some text there?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
He's reading a water bottle.
Yeah.
by
So
the way.
I'm
Yeah.
just, for example, I use text that's around me. I just look at it, and then I look away. I look back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a dream, it wouldn't be stable.
No, it would
wouldn't
change
be
the
what?
words. It would move. Maybe
Yeah.
it would.
No, but
yeah.
I can't read it. But that's because it's Danish.
Yeah.
But you know what he's saying though, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm going on a tantrum right now, but basically what I'm saying is the experiences that I've had in lucid dreaming, which is like waking up inside of a reality, realizing that it's not as certain as you thought it was just moments before, because in dreams we're completely we totally believe that what we see around us is reality.
Yeah.
Until that moment, we're like, holy shit! If you have a lucid dream,
So this might as well be a dream right now. What are you saying?
No.
no, I'm saying I just reality check, so I know.
Okay, so you know this is not a dream. But what if? Okay, hold on now. What if this is my dream, and
Yeah, that was
your reality check worked right? Because I haven't looked at the text yet.
Yeah, right.
So what if?
Look
what?
at it. He doesn't answer. Then we can get this shit out of the way.
I like the excitement, but do you know what I mean?
I like the
Yeah, I know,
excitement.
absolutely. Yeah, that's a thing that has happened to me a lot when I've been dreaming, and I sort of become lucid.
Yeah.
And then, like, for me, one of the most like amazing things to do in dreams is to ask questions to like people around you, And one thing that's common is just like you realize you're dreaming. Let's say we're in a dream together. I'm like, holy shit, Sammy, this is a dream. And then you go, nah. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That response can, fuck me up enough to like forget that it's a dream. Because your sense of rationalizing things is screwed up.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. So it's walking a tightrope to stay lucid. If you get too excited, you'll wake up. If you're too like sort of uncertain, you'll forget that it's a dream.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
dream. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna just try to keep this short. Yeah, so those experiences that I've had have sort of made me just very fascinated with just consciousness in general. Just exploring that,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that the more I meditated, the more lucid dreams I would have. For example.
Interesting.
Mm. Hashim, can I ask you something?
Ask away, my brother.
Could you look it up, like life expectancy of a hamster?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the hamsters.
No, I'm gonna ask you something to you guys.
Okay.
Do you, how much of this that we're doing right now,
Right now,
it is what we do when we are together?
Excuse me, you need to say that again.
How much of what we're doing right now you think it is what we do like when we are sitting down as friends? As friends.
Oh, how close this is to
one of our conversations.
Well,
You got it right, Hashim?
Yeah, well, Google says up to 2 years.
Oh, fuck, that makes so much sense. Anyways.
what did that have to do with this question?
I don't know, I just
asked?
want you to know. My mind's going 20
No,
now,
yeah,
bro. I'm so fucking
goddamn.
pissed with that guy because it does make 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You pissed
That's
with
what I
who?
do. Huh?
You pissed with who?
With the guy who gave me the hamsters. Because they're like, that's
This
fucking...
guy lost his fucking
Yeah,
mind.
no, he's
Yeah.
multitasking.
No, so, no,
the
no,
question,
yeah.
the question. I think that it's both very close and very far. I think as soon
Wow, that's such a
as
yeah, good answer.
as soon as there is something recording what we're saying,
Yeah.
we know that everything we're saying is not staying right here. I'm not talking about secrets and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
just because when we talk, right, we put something of ourselves like on the table here. But now
Yeah.
we know there's not only microphones, there's cameras. Oh, there's also
I forgot about them.
two lights that are like making us even brighter. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're all super conscious about the fact that this is being recorded and filmed. Now, I think we try, everyone maybe except you, try to construct more of our thoughts before we
Yeah.
say it, even though we all speak from the gut, and the further we get into this conversation, the more, we've already spoken for 48 minutes, by the way.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I swear
This
to
was
God.
not 48 minutes.
Yes, it was.
How long does it go?
But
usually?
we're gonna go for 5 hours, bro. We're gonna go all night.
Wow.
But no,
Sorry, Hashem. Love you,
so
brother.
so I think this is, if you look at the core of us, right?
Of our friendship. you mean.
No, not even the core of our friendship. The core of us, like as people, individually,
Okay,
right?
Put my glasses for that. because
Yeah,
there's
put
gonna
your
be some
glasses
fucking
on, right?
knowledge.
Boom. Then I think there is one channel from the core all the way inside,
Yeah,
right?
of us.
Yeah. There is a channel that then translates this core of us to a conversation, that the three of us are having without microphones, without anything like that.
Okay.
So here's the core, then there is a fucking branch,
Yeah.
and then there is another glass, right?
Yeah.
So that is how the core is translated into a normal conversation. Now, I think with this, for example, that is another channel going into another fucking glass here.
Okay.
So this is a third layer. You see where I'm getting at?
Are you telling this the channels? This right here?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm just saying that as soon as we know that this is being recorded, it can never be the exact same as when
okay.
it's not, because this is a different situation.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
There is even Hashim right here who is, he reminds us that this is being recorded because he's sitting there and has a function as doing the technical stuff.
And I'm not saying anything.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So but I do think it's an interesting question, and I think it's very interesting to think about how no matter in what situation you are in, to be as close to that core of yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Because this thing all put certain masks on us.
Oh wow, that's
Do you
interesting.
feel what I'm getting at?
Yeah, but I kind of don't agree 100% on that. But I'll tell you why. But how do you feel?
Oh, please go on.
Oh, shall I go on? Okay. I feel like it's so interesting, and I want your guys' thoughts on that because I start to look at you, for example, you, Sami, and it's interesting to see almost like a transformation. And what I mean by that is like, because now you have the host hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
I feel like it's so interesting because for me, it's like, almost like he's all of a sudden his motherfucking straight. He's like sitting all straight and stuff and like, like.
Well, me?
Yeah. You always like always a hunch.
I've been sitting like this the whole thing.
Yeah, at some point. But no, for me, it's just interesting because that is that, as I agree with you, there's like that tone of like, oh, now I got to be a host person. That's what I see, you know. So it's interesting to actually see that side of you. And I'm not saying that's wrong or that's. It's just interesting to see that side of you that I haven't seen yet. Kind of almost get into that kind of. You know,
I don't agree with the whole straightness thing you got going on, but it is like no matter what, when you put yourself into, because now you have the, you know, you have the hats on no matter what, like no matter if you like it or not, you have the hats on being guests on a podcast.
Yeah.
You have the hat on being, as soon as you put yourself in a situation and say to yourself, I am now the host of this, or I am now the guest of this, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I now work as a cashier as a supermarket. You put a hat on, whether you like to admit it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel.
Then I think it's, you know, it's an art form to being able to, no matter what hat you have on, to still have that core of you, sort of being transparent to that. To that hat and go as far to that hat as possible.
Yeah, I feel.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what sometimes, I'll be honest with you, honestly. Sometimes that kind of like, why do we have to do that? I'm not saying that.
Why do we have to what?
Like kind of put that hat.
Why do we do that?
Why do we have to? Do we have to? Because I feel like most people feel like they have to. And that what I'm saying that is like when I try to, like when I do my things, I hate the fact that it's just like, you know, you are a director now. You gotta be a director. Hold on a second. I won't be a director. I will be wherever, you know, wherever it feels comfortable to be. You know, like you almost like kind of break that kind of the connection that you have by being this kind of like, I'm not saying that you're doing that, but I'm saying like it's almost like kind of you stepping from yourself in a way that like to be something that like you have to be because people say that you have to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily agree, because I don't think you can and should be the exact same version of yourself in every situation.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So just because if you're at your grandmother's place and you're acting a certain way, I don't think that that's less you. You know what I mean? I don't think you're not necessarily being yourself. You're just a different, you just show more of one color of yourself in that situation.
I feel.
So we all do that, and we do it to survive at the end of the day, you know, because or else we would get fired from our jobs. We would, you know, a girlfriend would break up with us. Friends would not be, you know what I mean? We all have to put these, and some people like to admit it. A lot of people don't like to admit it, but we all do it.
No, I feel.
We all do it.
I totally
see
what
a lot
now.
too.
Yeah, I feel like it's even like when with you, I see what you mean now, especially when like I talk with you guys who are like male, straight male, when I talk with like my girlfriends, and I mean like friends that are girls, people. So like it's just different. It's not like there's a couple of things that you kind of almost kind of gotta be careful with to not like either hurt someone's feelings and stuff. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Is that what you're saying or no? Or I'm going.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, because bro, because. We are not the kind of Homo sapiens that we used to be. Like what is all this we're wearing right now? You know, what is all this? What are these blue glasses? What is this? You know, how's this beer so perfectly trimmed? It's like we're not the same as we used to be, because we constantly evolve and put onto us things that does not really, exist. But it's all like it's all titles, and it's all, I feel like, ways to survive in certain types of environments.
No, I see what you mean.
It feels like what we were talking about before in terms of like actors and that sense of identity that is not that, set in stone, so like, and in terms of, I think actors are conscious of that in one way or another, in terms of, we have different aspects to ourselves. Yeah. And if you become conscious of that and can use that in order to tell stories, then you're a performer.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be so weird to think about that we all put these masks and hats and titles, whatever you want to call it, onto ourselves when you think about what we really are at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And like, for example, talking about is this all a dream? Is this all real? Will we just wake up at some point, you know, being like, oh fuck, and we've lived a whole different life. You know what I mean? And in relation to the fact that we're just here for 5 minutes, like as a species, to then think about because when you're directing a film, you take it very seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Yeah, sorry.
It's just you take it very seriously. But it's like whatever you do, whatever film you do, you know what I mean? Or if you're a musician, whatever music you make, that's just not gonna be here at some point. It's not. It's, you know, it's something that is right now. You know, you being a director or whatever, it's like it's not really something that exists.
Me being a director.
Yeah, or me being whatever I am, or Alec, or Hashim, or whoever. You know what I mean? No matter what, if you say that you are a policeman, you know, that it's not something that really exists. Do you know where I'm getting at?
Because the fact that we just see for a fraction of a second, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because
because we hear only a fraction of a second, because world is just so.
Both that, but also because all these things, all these titles are man-made constructions. You know what I mean? So these are all man-made.
So what are we then? What do you believe that we are?
That we are?
Yeah, Homo sapiens.
Well, I believe that we're skin, bones, and I also believe that we are some sort of a spirit. But like money doesn't exist either. You know what I mean?
So why'd you do art then?
Huh?
Why'd you do art then? Why'd you write? Why'd you write poetry? Why you do this?
It's first of all because it's fun.
Okay.
And it's like, even if we're just here for 5 minutes, you know, it's like, it's fun. It's a fun way of spending time. Second of all, it's, I think it's an interesting way of trying to channel your emotions into, you know, something that other people will be able to relate to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an interesting, like we spoke about this at the beach the other day.
Yeah. Beautiful place, by the way. Thank you for bringing me there.
Oh, for sure, brother.
It's fucking romantic.
But it's like the diving, you know, when you create stuff, you cannot create stuff, I think, without really also diving deep into yourself. Or else I think that you create from a surface level standpoint, and I don't think it's interesting. And I think you can hear it on music or on films if it does not come from, you know, if the person who creates it has not dived deep into, it doesn't have to be a negative place, it could be a positive place as well. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. But I think also in order to be able to create great stuff, you also have to, or at least for me, I can only speak for myself, but have the thought of, fuck, this doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean?
When you're creating.
Yes.
And what you're creating.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I see what you mean. Not like take it serious, but not too serious.
Yes.
That kind of thought.
Yeah. Do it as a child on a playground, because it's like, they take it seriously, but it's like, it's a playground. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one's going to die from it. No.
Yeah. How'd you approach your acting like that? Would you also have like a, because you studied, Alec, if you guys don't know this, he went to New York and studied some
Is that audible? What he just said? I repeat.
Meisner technique.
Yeah, I studied the Meisner technique in New York a little bit. The Ted Barty acting studio, and in LA, I was also studying the Meisner technique at Playhouse West. Where were we going with this?
I ask you, for you, do you approach it like as a because you know, studying something. Me personally, I see like as something that's just like, oh yeah, now I'm studying it, I know it's knowledge, I take it, and now it's my job.
Yeah, no, okay.
Do you approach it as like something playful, or like you're acting? Because I approach it in a completely different way.
I feel like the experience I had like in New York and LA, had great teachers, Ted Barty, Glenn Vincent, and Robert Carnegie in LA. What they do, I think, for actors is not give you something. They're mainly there, I would say, personally, to take away the stuff that is, artificial, and to bring it closer to some sort of truth. And I
To
think
the core.
Yeah.
Okay.
because if I mean
Of yourself, you mean?
Once again, I think the sense of self is, there are layers to it, but they're all different. Well,
No, I'm with you.
He was just playing with my feet. He was just being a kid.
No. And you know that I'm a very good listener. So you're talking about the layers of yourself.
Bro, you're a terrible listener, bro.
Hashim looks like he want to say something. Say something. Okay, cool. So we're talking about the layers of yourself.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Guys. There you go. You see, that's what I wanted to say the whole time.
This is
Like,
fun.
cheers. This is great, man. Thanks for having us.
Wonderful.
And then it was very nice fucking meeting you, Hashim. You're a beautiful, sweet guy, by the way. So you were saying about layers about yourself that you kind of.
Yeah, how I approach acting. I feel what you're saying. Like to make it playful, to see that we're all children in a way, and for in that way, I think it is dreamlike.
There we go.
Yeah, I love the fact he always ends with like dreams. It's beautiful, man. It's so like for me.
What do you mean it's dreamlike? Like, what do you mean it's dreamlike?
Once again, I think everything is dreamlike in a way. I don't think it's this solid. I'm sorry, I just did it.
No, sweet.
Tapped on the table.
Yeah.
Go.
No, so you're saying basically you do art to like express some sort of truth? Is that what you feel?
No, I think well that too, you express the truth as well, but you don't really express the truth, I believe, because you never get into the truth. If the truth right now is the core of ourselves, right? So it's rather the journey into the truth, like the seeking of the truth within yourself, and then obviously you then try to, if you do art, you express something with it, right? I think both of them are very giving at the same time, but definitely more the diving into yourself,
Yeah.
Is that we were talking about a little bit in the beach? Remember?
For sure.
I was trying to translate. Do you know?
Oh,
you know
yes.
know?
But I told you about the which I want to share as well is John Frusciante.
Oh,
You like him a lot too, right?
I love.
I love the fact that you like him a lot. I told
told
him,
him,
that. I told him, and then he claims, I said, "Oh, I know you like it a lot, don't you?"
Well, him, like, he has, I just got into him a couple of, like, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or something like that. Started listening to the song, what was it called? Before the Beginning. Boom, goddamn, what a beautiful song.
Yeah.
But I then started listening to interviews of his, and in one interview, he said something very beautiful. I don't know if I shared it with you, Hashim, but he talks about how, creating art, or just creating something, right? If it's a painting, if it's music, if it's film, whatever, that is the nature's way of expressing itself through you. So if you look at the nature as a being, right? This being called nature is just trying to express itself through all of us different kinds of people, And I found that very, very, first of all, fascinating, but also inspiring at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, I don't have to come up with shit. You know what I mean? And like, and like he talks about this whole thing about that we give people in general like too much credit. He says this, that he's like, if you've made a song, you didn't make that song. The nature made that song. You just translated it. You were just the machine that the nature put something through, and then boom, out comes fucking man in the mirror. You know what I mean? But that was just the nature trying to say something. I thought that was beautiful as fuck.
Yeah.
No, that's so interesting saying that, man, because that reminds me to sometimes like just remind people that are in things with you, like Hashim right now, acknowledge that it wouldn't be possible if he wasn't here. Because sometimes it's just like, I think like me as being a director, for example, there's something about like it's almost like a glorifying, you know, it's everyone look at you and then be like, oh yeah, he's the director, he's the one that like has the idea of everything, he wrote it, he knows what he's doing, all that to a certain point. But the whole thing, it's not being created by the director, bro, it's created by nature. And what I mean by that is like having your crew, that's nature. You know, having like and I break down from top to the bottom. It's like from the person who's fucking, you know, bring the water to you. Simple as that. Like, you know, you're fucking thirsty, otherwise you can't think straight if you don't have water in your body. You know, so that kind of stuff. So like I think it's very important to acknowledge that, and also like let people know how important they are, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like you always glorify this one single person when that single person is just surrounded by a circle of talents, and those talents makes this single person, you know. It's just, and that single person that single person is not even the middle, it's just you get in this one single circle, and there's no one in the middle that creates this thing or create this movie or create this incredible. I think like I agree with you, people glorify people too much, like this one, like, you know, just the kings of the world and stuff like that, when it's just like you're only running because of everyone around you, you know. Nature, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I feel like we're getting into is like you're saying that, you know, I think people, I suppose, this is coming from me, like the people separate themselves from nature, you know, and what you're saying is we are part of that whole thing. Is just one thing really. And I suppose, I mean, one thing that I think is one of the most enjoyable things about life is that it is a mystery, you know?
Yeah, we can't figure out this shit, man.
No.
We can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
What is life?
Are we going there now?
Oh, shit.
Are we going there? I know you have some interesting theories, brother. And there's one specific theory that you are going to... I'm going to bring it up, but you're going to talk about this shit.
Yeah.
Because it blew me and Gustavo's mind. And I want everyone else to hear it. I'm gonna tell you... You want it now? Or were you just going off of something?
No, I don't know where you're going with this. But, you know...
Well, we're talking about, at some point...
Whose water is this? Can I take this water for a second?
Grab it, brother.
Thanks, man.
We're talking about the amount of dimensions that we see things in, right? That we are three-dimensional beings,
Oh my god.
right? Right?
I remember that fucking hell. Yeah.
Alec,
Yeah.
right? So,
he's scared of his own thoughts. That's how this conversation.
do you remember this theory that you had read somewhere?
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. Like, this is not my theory. Right?
No, it's not your theory. You read it somewhere, but it's a very interesting theory.
Yeah. It basically says, it takes, so let's say this table is a two-dimensional world. Like any beings that would exist there would only be able to move around in two dimensions.
Meaning, meaning that you could only...
If this was like a Pac-Man world or whatever.
Yeah.
You can only move in those dimensions. You have no sense of what up or down is.
Cool. Are you following over there? You look confused.
I don't. I just... Please continue, Alec.
Okay, go.
Yeah, no, just in terms of... This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So...
Because we were talking about the possibility of other life around us, right?
Around us?
In a sense, isn't that what we were talking about? We were talking about...
That's the thing. So, like right now, when we say around us, we're talking in terms of like a three-dimensional world, right?
Yeah.
So, like the beings on the two-dimensional world, like, should you take your three-dimensional finger and just say hello and just put your finger down there, they would still just experience a sliver of that finger. See where this is going?
Oh Jesus! Because they live in three-dimensional world. Okay.
Yeah. So they would still just get that like spot or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you move that up like one level to where if we are considered three-dimensional beings, it's interesting to sort of question like how would a visit from a fourth dimension look like? It wouldn't just be like, oh, pop it in our maybe three dimensions. It might be something that we have no concept of. You see.
Exactly, and that was my question too. Sorry, Simon, but like, can you at least come up with a fucking theory for that fourth dimension? What could it be?
It could, because that's what I was gonna ask.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, if if we have we see things in 3 dimensions, right?
Right now we do, right?
We do. We are 3-dimensional beings.
I don't even know what 3 dimensions means.
We are 3-dimensional beings, right? So this is 3-dimensional beings up here, right? If we all of a sudden have a 4th-dimensional being, wouldn't we be able to see them in the 3 dimensions? They wouldn't only have the 4th dimension, right?
Huh?
Sure, maybe, but you know, that's where, you know, it might be interesting to, you know, go into like the history of ghost apparitions or angels or fucking fairies or whatever, you know. You know, wherever that comes from, but there's always like been a part of like human being a human, like historically, there's always been some sort of part of the lore, the myths have been like visitors from someplace else, like always.
Does this theory support the idea that there right now could be other beings around us, but we cannot see them?
And that would be 4th dimension, bro.
Like I'm totally the wrong person to even talk about this. I feel
no, but I feel because you read this. Do you remember what the theory is called?
No, I believe Carl Sagan talked about it.
Carl Sagan.
Yeah, back in the like 70s,
Carl
80s.
Sagan?
How do you spell that?
C-A-R-L S-A-G-A-N.
S-A-G-A-N.
That was such a Danish L.
Yeah.
L.
No, you talked about this.
No, because I remember when you told us about this. It was a very interesting.
Yeah. No, the thing is, like the reason why I'm fascinated by this has been due to my own experiences with like what started with like sleep paralysis, that got into lucid dreaming, and then that, you know, evolved into some sort of out of body experiences even. That I, you know, forcibly induced, basically, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Or intentionally.
Intentionally, you said, right?
Yeah. I was obsessed with it for a time, and up until the point where I felt like I was out of balance with just being.
Because you did it too much.
Yeah.
Like you had lucid dreams and out of body experiences.
Yeah.
Really, was it to a certain point where you enjoyed that more than your everyday life?
No, I think that's like a glorified way of like looking at, like people are like escapism or whatever. But I did become pretty obsessed with it, you know, just exploring it. But I also feel like, you know, we're here for some reason as well. And if I, you know, losing track of being a human here in like physical reality.
Why do you think we're here, bro?
Oh Jesus Christ!
We're going there now. No, we're going deep now. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Are you a
I don't give a fuck. We're going deep, baby.
Are you a bunny?
No,
because you just jumped from one subject to the other.
No, I think we've been sort of slowly getting into that, I suppose. You were saying that we're in a way. I feel like you were saying that we are nature expressing itself. And as beings or humans, we're vessels to whatever art or concepts that come out of us in a way. Is that something?
Yeah, and we are nature.
Yeah.
Because we're just one organism created by nature, but we are nature at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
We are a part of nature just as a tree is or as animals. It's like, you know. Mm. So we're what?
No. Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm listening.
You look pretty fucking gangster with that cigar, by the way.
When we... Oh, goddamn. I hit my head too. No, because if we talk about... Because I don't think we can separate ourselves from nature. Right. Either, you know. Because it's all the same, right?
But
we can... What John Frusciante is saying... And I know we're jumping a little bit back and forth here, but fuck it. But what he's saying is that you need to be fantastic at listening to the world around you, to the nature around you, in order for you to be able to create. You know what I mean? You can.
That's a very good point.
That you cannot create purely in a pure way. If you have your eyes closed and your ear closed, you cannot because you cannot make stuff up. It all just comes from the outside. This is basically what he says.
What's your take on that? Like, how do you? I think that's actually, you guys ready for this? What is creativity? How do you say that, Alec? Back me up on this.
Creativity.
Creativity.
Is that
How
what
do
you're
you?
saying?
What is creativity?
Yeah, for you, like, how do you see it and how do you approach it? Because I don't know if you talk about that, but like, do you talk about the fact that you write and stuff in this podcast? Because I mean, most of the
I
stuff
do
is Danish, and
sometimes.
just you do.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
And just so people know, I don't speak Danish. I don't know if you could tell that.
Well, you barely speak English. We could fucking. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. It was right for the.
I know. Just people
you know how it
he
is,
does that out of
bro.
love.
You're a stand-up comedian. You
Say
know how
that,
it
that you
is.
do that out of
Yeah.
love. Say that you do that out of love. Say it.
I did it out of love.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But yeah, so what's your like? What's your approach on like? Alec, back me up.
What are you saying?
Creativity.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
creativity. You were saying.
Can you say as well? Wow.
What's my look on creativity?
Yeah, like what's your take on it? Like, what is it that you like? Pretty much, I'm saying, like, how do you do it?
No,
that that deep? Was that
no.
deep
It's a good
question?
question. It's a massive question, though.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
So I just I just need to think. But it is creativity to me is being good at listening to, at the end of the day, to yourself, to your emotions, and to be honest when it comes to your own emotions. I don't think that you can. Like Julian, our teacher
Wow.
in Paris, right? I'm gonna bring that motherfucker up because he said something one day in class in Paris. It was very, very true. He said, if you're not genuine in your day-to-day life, if you are acting constantly in your day-to-day life, you will never be able to act purely when you are on stage or in front of the camera.
Wow.
Because that means that you are not honest to your own emotions, and you have way too many masks on in your day-to-day life that you cannot be able, like, you cannot create in a pure way when you actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're kind of being fake.
Yes, you're lying to
24/7.
yourself.
Yeah.
You're constantly lying to yourself. That is what you're doing all the time.
Yeah,
And you can tell, you can just tell there are some people, for whatever reason, and I'm not knocking those people at all, because we all, have our reasons to be how we are, but you can tell some people where it's like, wow, you have 500 masks on right now. Some people is almost like uncomfortable to speak to them, because it's like, you just want to tell them, calm down,
Oh, that's
calm
that.
down,
Oh,
just
yeah.
breathe, calm down.
Yeah.
Because some it's like really trying to either impress or like to be, a different, and you can tell we humans, we just have, I feel like, a signal sort of thing, a signal that sort of tells us when other people are not being genuine.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm sorry, but
then the interesting part is if you're one of those people that are really used to lying to yourself, you become so good at it, and it gets confusing. You know what I mean?
yeah, they almost like don't know what's real, right?
Yes.
You believe yourself, but like it's crazy. Like, did you just see what he's done? And that's why I was laughing, because he was like, when he played the people, he went like, he just played this fucking crazy like drug, like induced person. That's very interesting. That's the way that you see people. No, but I totally see what you
Was
mean.
that where you just stopped my train of thought for?
No. I'm gonna answer you. And it was just a crazy fucking face that you made. Please, when it comes to that thing, where are we now?
Huh?
How many minutes are we in?
Oh, we're lost now.
No,
we're
no, no.
lost. No, we can't look.
Have your face on it. Have
No,
your
we
face on
can't
it.
look.
All right,
We're
We'll
lost
look at
now.
the end. We'll look at the end. But I want to ask you another question now, and that goes to both of you. Do you think
You ask good questions, bro.
Do
To
you-
be honest with you. I
appreciate
swear you
it,
ask
appreciate it.
fantastic questions.
do you think you're a good creator?
If I think I'm a good creator,
Yes, and
I
I
have
don't
no
mean like
fucking idea, and I don't think that, to be honest, that there is an answer, because it's subjective. It's like there will be, huh?
I said, wow.
No,
that's a good answer.
No, but for real, because if I do something, if it's something that I write, or if it's an acting thing, or even this podcast, You know, there will be people that like it, people that don't, and it's all subjective. So I don't think that ever in this world that you are good or you are bad is a real thing. Because who dictates that? You know, who dictates if that is a beautiful shirt or an ugly shirt? Who dictates that? Who decides upon that? You know what I mean?
Media.
Huh?
Media. A lot of.
Okay, but is that true then? Is that real?
Why, for the people that believe in it, yeah.
For sure. But I definitely don't think that there is any, you know, any good or not good. You can have your own subjective opinion, and your opinion is based off of every single thing that you've experienced in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you like a certain joke, or if you like a certain movie or a certain song, whatever, it's based off of all these different colors that has been put upon you since you were a little baby, you know? So it's super individual, it's super unique to you. So, and that's why I fucking hate, man, when people are like, no, that movie is just fucking shit, or I fucking, like, that song is just the worst song. Like, don't listen to that song, or like, don't travel to Sicily, because that place is shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know? How do you know that it's shit? Who are you? Not you, but this imaginary person.
Just point
call him right here.
Because you point right at me.
Because who are you to tell every other person that you meet that this specific thing is shit? Are you like?
Yeah,
did you create this? Did you know? Even if you did, who are you still?
Yeah.
That you think that you have the power to put your own opinion onto other people, you know?
No, I feel totally, man. And it's just interesting you saying that. And I really want to hear your perspective on this, Alec. But just answering your other question, say, like, I do ask good questions, but I think you guys always give me very good answers. So I feel like it's not even me asking, because what you tell me, it triggers me to ask another questions, good question according to you, which I think is just like normal.
But can I just say something about that? Can I just real quick?
Yeah, sure.
The fact that a guy like you asks good questions makes us even more curious about, you know, these kinds of subjects.
Yeah.
So that makes us answer whatever you believe is good answers.
Yeah.
And that makes you then ask even better questions. You know what I mean?
But
it's all the circle. But go on. I just want to say that. Go on.
And I want to say one more thing. But hold on. No, this is good. You guys ready? I want to ask you, like, what's back me up on this. What's that word?
Creativity, bro.
Thank you.
Let's try to get this word right real quick. Creativity.
Creativity.
Boom, you said that so smooth.
Yeah, but
man.
that was with the heart. But hold on, I just want to say one more thing. And that leads the question, like, what did come first? My questions or the egg? You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like the chicken or the egg, because basically what I'm asking
questions
you,
or the answers?
Yeah, because basically what did come first? It was your answer, was it my question?
Oh fuck, man.
You see what I'm saying? But
what did come first though? What did come first? Because that's I mean,
you know, so is it my questions that are good, or is it your answers that are good? Anyway.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what's do you think you're a good creator?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I try to be.
You're good
whatever that
for
means.
sure.
So, you know, like you said, it's all a matter as a subjective matter. But yeah, I try to be like, from what I understood, you said before, in terms of being an artist, is to like sort of try to be a pure vessel for that creative power that sort of is there and is going on. If everything is just one thing, like one consciousness, if you will, then just to go back to, like, we were talking about, like, what is creativity and so on. Because I was thinking, like, everything is being created at all times in a way. You know, it's like life and everything is not something that is, it's something that is, like, happening, like, from moment to moment in a way. So there's, like, a creative power at work at all times, and then, you know, some people will call that God, some people will call that, you know, they will explore that through science or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm interested in, like, I want to ask you, why do you think we need, like the arts and creativity as like a species or whatever.
Can I answer through Jim Morrison real quick? It's some beautiful.
Who's
Huh?
Who's that? Jim Morrison.
Jim Morrison. Your
Musician?
question, the Doors.
No, that's Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, I got the gym though.
Your question was why do we have a need to create?
No. Well, yeah, that too, I suppose. But just in terms of it's been such a almost obvious part of the human race in a way for like forever. To like in terms of storytelling and in any way whatsoever, you know, storytelling I suppose was the original. We've been talking about this, right?
Oh, bro, Alec, please get some into that, please. Sam, you haven't heard this shit, but this is some fucking crazy shit.
No, just if you think about like what we're doing as actors or writers or whatever is telling stories, right? That's been part of the human race. Like we can't even tell. It's been part of like just being a group in front of a fire and someone's like, hey,
telling stories like religion.
Yeah. So
for example,
why do you think like we need that? Like, why is that still part of like being a human? Like to this day, people are going to the movies, people are going to plays, people are going to museums, and just I mean,
isn't it to at the end of the day like reestablish a connection to life? Because it's like we get thrown into this world, right? Even though we are this world, we still get thrown into it, and then, as we just spoke about, a lot of people separate themselves from this nature that we essentially are, right? So it's the same thing. Maybe you could take it as the same thing as, say, all of a sudden, right? You, Alec, gets just transported into this massive house, this building, this empty building, right? You don't know how you got there. You don't know what it is. You have no idea. At some point, and you cannot get out of there, right? You will want to try to reestablish or establish a connection to this place. You cannot get out. This is now, like, this is where you're at now. You don't know how you got here. We don't know how we got to this.
Wow.
To this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel you, man.
To the world.
Yeah, that's some crazy
so
shit
good.
right there. For a second, I was lost, but he just picked me up, fished me back. No,
Yeah,
but yeah,
for sure.
man.
So it's like,
wow.
So it's like, why are we here? And then I think maybe in the pursuit of this, if you're in this house, then you would try to, either make up stories that sort of maybe creates like this channel or this thread from you to this building, because you cannot ask the building, even though a lot of people ask God, like, why am I here, or they go to church. We all have our different ways.
Yeah.
We all have our different ways. Some do it through drugs, some do it through religion, some do it through storytelling, but it's all essentially, I think, the same thing that we're doing, man.
And the house always wins.
Yeah, look at his face, how proud he is, and find like his theory of life. Look at his fucking face. I know him so much that as he was saying, and he was doing this. Look, he was touching his smile as he was saying.
But I've said I haven't
That
thought.
was great, man.
I haven't thought about this before though, but it's a good question. But to Jim Morrison, right? In an interview once, he was asked, and this is in the 70s, keep in mind, right? He was asked why, I think it's the most beautiful answer I've ever heard in my goddamn life. He was asked, why do you think that men are, in general, and this is in the 70s, more prone to creating stuff, why they're more male creators? Now, I think that there are 500 different reasons to this. Like,
is that him saying this?
No. This is me right now
Okay,
saying
alright.
it before I say his answer.
Okay.
But I think it has to do with a lot of things, why they weren't back in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was not socially acceptable for women to just be as, artistic perhaps as men. Right? But his answer was beautiful. He said, I think that women have less of a need to reestablish a connection with life because they are life.
Yeah, man. And
Wow. Because, I mean, the fact that, like, they give life, is that what you mean? Is that what he meant?
Yeah, because they are life. They are life. You know what I mean? And I thought that was fucking beautiful. Because
like
it's like us men, we're confused as fuck. You know what I mean? Women... No, I swear to God.
yeah, the fucking.
Huh?
As you said, man, we're confused as fuck. Someone just like, bang.
Censoring.
That was probably a man down there
Yeah,
honking.
exactly.
He was like, fuck, I don't know what's going on. But
I'm confused.
it's for real though, because it's like I can imagine, you know, and I don't know what it is to be a woman. None of us do, but you know,
I
being
think we're
able
both
to
confused, man.
bro, we all, yeah, for sure. I'm not saying women are not, but it's like being able to give birth. It's like you're creating a fucking life. You're feeding, you know, another life. You're doing all this stuff, you know. I think that brings you closer to the connection to what this, you know, whole thing is.
Men can do that too, by the way. Hashim is clapping to this, but let me take some of that credit.
That's Jim Morrison. No, Jim Morrison gets that credit because
yeah. Oh, I'll take that from Jim Morrison then. But like men can do that too.
Huh?
They can feed a child. They can actually. They have the body to
give birth.
Yeah. I don't know, like to hold a child inside them, and fucking if there's actually
somebody needs to look this up, man, because now Gustavo is just talking shit.
Hashim, can you check if like a guy can fucking feed a child with his tit?
Can we get subtitles on this again?
Just if a guy can feed a child with his like with this, what do you call this?
But
like,
we cannot get milk out of our tits, bro.
Hashim, could you back me up on this? If a man's left with a child in the room for a long time, and after a couple months, can he build like what do you call that thing, the white stuff the woman has in the breast and stuff?
Milk?
Yeah, milk. If a man can have milk in them.
The white stuff that women have in their breast, bro.
What?
Well, I gotta say something.
Come on, Hashim, hit me up.
So while typing this on Google, I thought it was like a joke, but it says the answer is yes.
Let's go.
Although rare, there are historical records of men breastfeeding their infants, usually when the mother was unable to because of illness or death. One of the earliest mentions comes from the Talmud, which describes a man who nursed his infant after his wife's death during childbirth.
Woo! Let's go, Daddy.
Okay.
Wait, can I just go this? Woo! Let's go, Daddy.
All right.
Go.
Let me just understand this real quick. So is this nature doing so that if this one part being the woman cannot give what is necessary to feed this form of life, which is a baby, then automatically the nature does so that the man can? Or what? Is it something in them? Say if you have right now, you have a man and a woman and they have a baby, right?
Yeah.
The woman dies, okay? Does this man's biological system, does it recognize that the baby still needs feeding but cannot get it from where it's supposed to? So now this biological machine that is inside of him, it then creates milk?
Well, you got And why are you looking at me? I'm not a fucking doctor. All I know is like men can.
Why are you looking at me? You see, he just puts all responsibility away.
Because like, well, what I said. I'm not answering that because I don't know.
I said what I said.
No, but you know, I have to say one thing. The fact that like, yeah, we're like, oh fuck this bullshit, because I keep constantly, and that's the thing that we have in our friendship. I keep constantly dropping knowledge, but fake knowledge. So when I drop like real knowledge, you guys get a little confused. So
but the thing is, I actually think that you were fucking around, but this is just a coincidence that it was actually true this time.
No, it was a coincidence.
I mean?
That's why I made him bring that up, because yeah, I do have some.
Okay, shit, but that's actually
knowledge.
That's crazy though. But that was a good question. Do you like the one before about
which was?
Well, it was. So it was not that. When I started talking about you being thrown into a house, right? You asked the question of the.
That was a great answer, by the way, man.
Thank you, but the need to create, the need to.
Yeah. Tell stories and all
to
that.
Tell stories. Boom, that's it. Yeah, to tell stories. Do you have?
I feel like what you're saying maybe is, correct me if I'm wrong, is like going back to how this is all just one big mystery, and storytelling is just a sense of trying to cope with not knowing.
the house again.
Yeah.
The house again. Is that what you
no,
meant?
for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah,
being
it's just a
in
way
this
to
house.
survive inside of this house.
Yeah.
Because if you just stand there as a big question mark and
Yeah.
you know, and you might as well die.
Yeah. I this house. I just you know, is that you mean the universe?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the universe. Well, it's the
That was sexy, man. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. And that's what's just like Hashim, yeah? Hashim, how is it?
Nah, I just wanted to kick in with a little thing, because I don't know if you guys have been thinking about it, but also like with religion and everything in this world, it's human made, and there's one thing about like hope, right? So that could also with the thing you talk about with the house, it's the storytelling. It's everything is about hope and us humans trying to get something we don't know nothing about. Everything is to get to know the world, right?
It's just
for sure,
it's
man.
just a more
Definitely.
more interesting hope for us.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many other ways to try to kind of like figure out what is it for us in that house, right? People do, I don't know, do like sell fucking, you know, sell stuff. People, you know, kind of run around. People.
Why do we need this hope, though? Why do we need this hope? Why can't we just sit and you know,
wait for it?
wait for it? You know, wait for the moment when we die. Like just eat and sleep and you know do all that's necessary too. You know what I mean? But why do we?
Because you can't do that, man.
But why?
Because capitalism, bro. You gotta work. You gotta keep moving. The world that we live in, you can't just sit down and eat. Simple as that. But
Well,
as
you could. You definitely could. If that's where you definitely could. Huh?
How would you do that?
Oh, how would you get food and stuff like
Yeah.
that? You move to some place and you would hunt.
What?
You would hunt your own food, man. You've done hunting before.
Yeah, but it wasn't to eat. Lizard, it would not fucking,
Hunting a
it
lizard.
will not fucking feed you enough, bro.
No, but still, like you
There's
mean
so many factors. I feel like it's much more complex than we think.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
like,
for sure.
This house is just filled with fucking like a bunch of other artists that doing the artists in their own way. You know, and then for us, sometimes I feel like as an artist, we gotta remind ourselves that what we do, it is different from what other people do, but at the same time, it's like we have to kind of humble ourselves and not be like, oh yeah, this is art. There's such a huge connotation on art. And I understand why, because it's so different, right? But at the same time, I feel like other people are in that search too, but it's just in their own kind of little bubble, you know, like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering if in the afterlife that if there will still be this like, you know, this.
So you believe in afterlife?
Or I like to. I think it's more exciting than just thinking that it's all going to be black.
Fuck.
I do definitely believe that physically, yes, we will live on because our body is like just physically, you know, I feel like that's a fact. Your body will become into the soil, that will be into trees, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though your body will not just disappear, you know, become a part of nature. But this up here, or this in here rather, like spirit and stuff like that, you know, I do definitely think that it's more interesting to think of it as you know, a moving thing. You know what I mean? Like how if you walk into a house where
Are we talking about a normal house? Or
a normal house now, yeah, a normal house now
Just
where a couple has lived for, you know, for 50 years, you know, they died, right? You walk in there, it's like you can feel something, right? It's like you can, like in
even not knowing, if someone told you, if someone didn't tell you, would you be able to walk into a house and be like, oh, somebody's dead?
Oh no, not necessarily, but it's like
okay.
I still feel that you can feel something when you walk into any sort of an environment. And what I think it is, me personally think it is that we feel is every other person that has been into this room that has put something of themselves in there. You know what I mean?
Wow, you really believe on that? Really?
For sure.
Energy.
And it's like, the thing
Energy.
is, yeah, I guess that's what you could call it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I am never in my life going to say that is a fact or that is what is right. You know, no matter what theories people have, you know, you can never say that is right and that is wrong because none of us fucking know. I'm just saying that this is what interests me, you know. It's more exciting for me to think of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I definitely do believe that there is stuff that we cannot see and touch, perhaps.
Yeah, it's stuff that's not tangible, right? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Yeah. But just pulling up Hashim again. Yeah, that hope.
Yeah.
Really hoping that like that's the afterlife, or because I don't really believe in it, but I really fucking hope, bro. I want to see you out there, fucking this guy over here dancing, doing his moves out there. You doing your.
But what if in the afterlife we don't even know each other? We don't know that we have ever, because we might have had a life before this shit.
I don't know.
We might have had a life before this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't know. We can't recollect anything from our life before. So what if we have actually lived a whole life? Maybe we've lived 5,000 lives before. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why are you looking at me?
Well, because I feel that's something that I really want to hear you talking on, or about, or on top of it. The energy. I actually want to hear your thoughts on the energy thing. Like, do you walk into a place sometimes and then you feel like, oh yeah, I can feel the vibe over here, and then you get a specific feeling from the place. Like, as he said, like, I'll walk into a place and I'm like, ooh, someone's maybe, dead.
Yeah. No, I've had, those experiences, just, walking into an apartment and just like, oh, this like little bathroom right here feels strange, and then find out someone died in it, after.
Really?
Oh, you
Are
then
you
you
serious?
afterwards.
Are you serious?
Bro, are you surprised? This guy, man, he's a walking spirit, man. He's
That's
like,
did you actually felt like, oh, this someone's dead here, and then like
no,
your
just
cousin
like-
came out, yeah,
Just
my
like
dog
that,
died.
for me, it might have come down to just like, okay, this is my least favorite room.
Okay.
And that's it. You're just like, just slightly less.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
nice
for
vibe.
That makes more sense.
but it is. I mean, it is.
But I agree with you. I would not want to say like, oh, this is the way it is, or that I'm certain on anything.
No.
My experiences through like these, lucid dreams or whatever, they've just made me question more.
Of course.
Rather than being like, oh no, this is the way it is. This is the way it is.
Can you please, man? You've told this story to us before, but can you please tell the story of that, sleep paralysis episode that you had? It's gonna freak the fuck out of everyone listening to this. But
What?
do you remember which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, for sure.
Of
Boom.
course it does.
Please go ahead, man.
Can you just tell how much I feel? How do I feel towards this
You're
situation?
you're not very comfortable.
Yeah.
Bro, somebody give Gustavo a diaper if he shit his pants in the chair. Somebody.
It's not even funny.
No, let's go. Let me hear it.
I
It's
got one right here.
you don't know. I don't think I've told you about this story. No, it's fucking
alright,
fucking our heads up.
No,
man.
that's
Let's
good though,
go.
because you guys have maybe heard it before, but it's good to have someone in the room who hasn't.
I want to
No,
look at Hashim.
like I said, for me, these things just started of themselves. Like my first sleep paralysis, I was in the back seat of a car, with my family. We're driving through Italy, and I wake up like mentally, but just like you might wake up after a nap or whatever, and your arm is asleep. You're like, fuck, actually, I can't move this.
Yeah.
It was like that, but just the entire body. So I was like, but at the same time, you wake up after a nap, you're kind of cozy. So I was like, this is strange, and I was like, at the time I was sleeping with my mouth open, so I was like, I couldn't even close my mouth. I'm like, it's trying to focus on that. Just close your mouth. God damn it, And it was over after like 15 seconds. So it was like strange. I didn't even mention it to my family, and I wasn't even worried like, oh shit, that might be something concerning my health or whatever. But I had not at the time heard of like sleep paralysis and stuff.
And this is your first time having a sleep.
first time.
But this is
No.
not the story.
No,
The story is
I'm
coming.
getting
Yeah,
to it
good,
now.
good.
I'm getting to it now. Yeah. So the second.
Just so people know. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Go on.
So the second time that I had sleep paralysis, it was during high school. I was still living at home, and I was tired, and I went to bed pretty early, like 10 p.m. And my family was still out watching TV, and I fell asleep. But then, like shortly after I fell asleep, I once again woke up mentally, and once again I couldn't move. But this time, it was accompanied by this massive surge of energy through my body. It was like adrenaline times 100. It was insane. Like I've been Also, like you want to say hi to some cows, and then you get electrified by the fence or whatever. Yeah. So that's shocking, but this is like that, but like prolonged, and
throughout your entire body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a waterfall of energy. It was very, very powerful. And at the same time, like I said, I've woken up mentally. I'm 100% there, present, and I know that my family's still out watching.
You can see?
Yes, and I can see where I am in the room. I can see that I'm in bed, where I went to sleep. And I'm aware of the fact that my family's out there, but being paralyzed, you can't move, but you can't scream out either, because it's very normal to be, terrified when something like this happens.
Yeah.
And so this is going on. I can't move. I can't yell out to my family. And then as this energy is happening, all of a sudden I see a man in the doorway. All right. Yeah. I see a man. He's...
I wish you could have a shot of Hashim's face right now.
Go on.
So I see this man, like a silhouette, but I can also actually see like facial features. So it's detailed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
No, go on.
So if my like terror was like pretty high before with the energy and everything, but all of a sudden I see a man standing there, and I'm like, once again, I'm aware that this is like my awareness is basically like, oh, I've never experienced anything like this, and also I to some degree I understand that this guy is not a physical person who just walked in either.
So you knew that. You knew he was not a real person, or what?
I understood that this somehow was to a degree, a mental event in a way.
Okay.
A mentally what?
A mental event, like it didn't feel like I woke up paralyzed and that's a real person standing there. I understood that this is extraordinary. It's not something ordinary. So I see this man, and the terror is just becoming more and more, stronger and stronger. And then all of a sudden, I hear a voice like coming from him and from within.
I'm going.
Why you keep telling this?
Yeah, just keep going. Bro.
I hear a voice, and the voice is like almost classically demonic, almost. But it felt like a double voice, because it felt like it came from within me, but also from him. And he said 3 words, and those words were Max Friedrich Zeitung. But you can imagine like a real deep, like bass voice.
He said these 3 words.
Yeah,
as German words, right?
Yeah, the first 2 are names, like Max and Friedrich. Friedrich is like the German name for like Frederick.
Yeah, for sure.
And Zeitung means newspaper in German. So it's so incredibly random, I couldn't make this shit up, And so I hear these 3 very specific, words, and then after some time, I get out of this. 'Cause all at the same time, I'm trying to move, but I can't. So I woke up. He was not there anymore.
Okay.
And I was just, completely terrified. So I called out to my family. I have no clue what just happened. I've never heard anyone experience this. And in terms of like the German, it's like, yeah, I had studied German in school, but I had never heard of this person or
never.
No. So I was just, I was afraid to go back to sleep, for real,
For obvious reasons, I would say. Yeah.
So trying to calm myself down, I actually, spent just some time to like doodle or like sketch his face, because I saw these like, like I said, like facial features. I drew his face. And then I Googled the words that I heard, and at first, you just see the first results, and I'm like, I couldn't really.
Which are Hashim? I think he wants you to Google.
Holy shit! Oh, you're gonna bring him up?
Go on.
I couldn't really see anything on the first results, but when I went into Google Images, I'm telling you, like within seconds, I saw a black and white portrait that looked like my sketch. Unfortunately, I'll say, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's synchronized. That was fun. What's the name of it?
So when I clicked that image of that portrait.
How many years ago is this?
So this was like end of high school, I think.
It was like 10 years ago?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Okay. So you type in these 2 names, and this image comes up.
The 2 names and the word Zeitung.
Okay.
Which means newspaper in German.
Cool.
I see this portrait, which is like, it was very, very similar to my drawing. Unfortunately, I don't have the drawing anymore. I drew it on my computer, But yeah, so I saw this picture, I clicked it, and up comes like this tiny little Wikipedia page, just like one paragraph. It's about this man, and the full name, if you want to Google, yeah, was Max Albert Friedrich Mendheim. So Max Albert Friedrich Mendheim. Yeah.
I feel like for this story right here, we need to do this. Hashim, can you turn off that light, that camera light to your right? Can you turn that off right there? I'm scared. Do the same here.
Oh shit, we're doing that.
Boom! I'm doing this right now.
Oh,
Why?
Okay.
Yes, because this is.
He's finished with the story.
No, but I feel like we got into this vibe right now, so keep
Okay.
going.
Can they still see us? The camera's still rolling,
No,
right?
the camera's still rolling. They can still see us.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
oh
goddamn.
my god, man. You fucked up the whole
Just
goddamn studio.
Awesome.
Max,
Yeah, M-A-X, then Albert,
Space
Friedrich,
Albert,
that's Friedrichich, Mendheim,
I don't want to
M-E-N-D-H,
see that.
M-E-N-D-H-E-I-M. And this is trippy, just knowing people listening, and if someone would,
Know
Google this
this.
name, they would also like go in to find this person.
Google this, but are you able to find it? Are you not able to find it?
Ooh, it's fake.
Oh, you can't. I wish. Right?
What?
What does it say?
No. No. Like that's mind crime. No. So it's sorry. 1 second, please.
Oh, still good?
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
go.
I love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
All right, cool.
Love you too, bro.
Okay.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
How much?
Bro, I genuinely love the
Yeah, so you
fucking
have to
shit
pick-
out of you,
you
man.
have to pick-
Okay,
oh, there
cool.
we go.
Yeah.
So
no.
this is the port.
Okay. Oh, that's the guy.
That's the
It's not
portrait.
even. That's
Oh,
Oh, you
scary.
found it.
Yeah. So
I thought it would
was
be
like
scarier.
a kind of a heavily built man with a mustache and these deeply set eyes. That looked like my drawing.
Look at Hashim, scared as fuck holding the
He's
computer.
He's shaking and holding the computer.
As soon as he saw the portrait, he's like, "Oh fuck this."
I swear, God, I'm sweating right now.
Yeah, so I find this picture, I click it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the Wikipedia page is very short. Like you don't have a lot of information on that. But it's like what I see is, I think he was born in like 1862 or whatever.
Born in 1862. And what did he do again?
If I remember correctly, he was like maybe an illustrator for like a newspaper. So that's where the Zeitung thing connected with my search.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you,
You know,
Sammy.
this-
This is so fucking. Can you open a little bit more? I asked you this like fucking 3 hours ago. You opened it now.
We good now. It's just
Oh, you're going to smoke a cigarette? Nah. But here's my question to you guys. Are you finished the story, by the way?
Yeah, pretty much. Like after I saw that page, you look very like either confused or.
I just want to know, like, what happened.
Yeah, no, yeah.
After.
Not a whole lot. I found the page and I found this information and I understood, it was connected to my search words. The mystery for me was just like how fast I saw this picture and how fast it connected with my drawing and my memory of that.
What do you think this was, bro? What do you think this was?
His face when he asked him.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think that this was? Why is it that you saw this man, like you had a sleep paralysis, but you saw this man and then you draw a sketch of what you remember him looking like and then why do you think this is?
Yeah, so like
I'm trying to get some answers now, man, because this is creepy as fuck.
yeah, like one can try to rationalize and just be like, well,
Let's rationalize this,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Please.
So like
Please rationalize for us
Like
normal people to understand what you mean.
So like the rational explanation that people are saying is like, which we know, like every one of us experience or are paralyzed during mainly during dream sleep, like when we're dreaming, and then usually after dream sleep we briefly awaken. Yeah, but most of us just don't remember it because it's so brief. Just wake up for just a little moment.
Yeah.
But there can be like a mistiming of waking up and the paralysis still being there from dream sleep. So that can happen where you become awake and you notice you can't sleep. I mean, you can't move. And then, the panic can set
But
in.
I'm asking more like, why do you think you saw this guy?
Yeah.
Why do you think that this guy was in your brain? Do you think that you might have come across him sometime, maybe in your childhood, maybe during school, and then you just forgot about it? He just stuck in the back of your mind, or like?
That's the thing. Like, looking at the Wikipedia page, I can tell, like, this is not like a famous person. This is not anyone that would have come up in school at any point. As far as I know, I don't have any like German ancestry or anything like that.
But you speak German, right?
Yeah, that's
You
that.
had
Like
German
that would be
classes and stuff.
that would be my connection to German.
So do you think this was random? This was pure coincidence?
That's the thing. I would not be able to tell you. Like, I have no, like, once again, to go to the rational explanation is like when we're in that state is like a hybrid state of, your body is in a way still asleep. Part of your mind has woken up, but the paralysis of of dream sleep is still there, and the body is still in a sort of dreamlike state. And then you have your sense of like, your sense of I am, and your sense of like a rational mind just waking up and being like, oh, so this is my reality right now, and that clashes with a dreamlike state. Yeah, you're bound to see stuff, you know. So yeah, that's like one rational explanation. But yeah, I ask myself that sometimes to this day.
I think I know why he saw it. I think it's because the way that he sleeps. I slept with him last night.
We might have to explain, like, what do you mean by, because we're staying at your place.
Let's just say that Gustavo has always been a little bit afraid of sleeping next to Alec because he experiences shit like this when he sleeps.
And he tells us, like, that's the thing about Alec. Like, he really loves it to a point that he just like if you ask him, tell us about that story, he was like, here's how it happens. I was in my mother's womb. He takes all the way back, you know, like, he doesn't tell you this story. He builds it all the way back. He's like, and I knew it when I was there. I was meant to be who I am. And then he starts to tell the story, and he builds into a way that you just like, am I gonna die in the end of this? Like, like, so. But anyway, so last night I'm sleeping. I slept, and I answer your question. We didn't sleep together.
You slept next to each other, yeah.
Thank you. And that's what I meant. There's no other word that next to each other. That's very weird. So we slept together.
Yeah.
Do you agree that we slept together?
Bro, you slept next to each other.
Yeah.
Go on with the story.
Okay. Alec is one of those that he would just think about something like, if you listen to this, just think about the straightest thing you can think of. If it's either like a ruler or your uncle, like something straight. Like something that's so straight that you can't even like imagine something less straight than that. So that's Alex sleeping, right? So I was not scared, but like not knowing how my body would react.
Now you're saying that when I sleep, I sleep like on my back, like pretty much completely straight, and I don't move a lot.
No, like his toes, like, I'm going to do this in the camera. Like, it was aligned like this, bro. It was perfectly aligned. It feels like before he goes to bed, he aligns himself to sleep. It was beautiful at the same time. Very interesting. Yeah, I would say interesting. And so I for a second, I just like kind of like, this was around like maybe 6 a.m. I just, for mistake, I just kind of like... It was a horrible mistake. I just kind of like looked to the side, and I remember so clearly just going like this. Because it was just like, I looked to my side, Alec was sleeping like this. Wait, let me do it. And then he was just so fucking straight, and that was just like fucking. I'm serious. It was very, very fucking scary. So I think that's why the way that you sleep kind of brings all that shit into your head.
I've been called Dracula on multiple occasions in terms of like my sleeping position.
Yeah, no, you scared the shit out of me too.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
No, you just in general.
In general,
yeah, you just in general, man.
Do you know what I did? Like, the movie that we were making together.
Yeah.
I purposefully. Did you know this? Did you know about this?
No.
I put him by himself in a cabin
Oh,
because
because you didn't want any of your other actors to sleep next to him.
nah.
I feel you, bro.
You know,
No,
so
I understand that.
I put him in a cabin by himself because I was so scared for other people. You know, everyone else was sharing a room with other people, but him, I just couldn't because I know how straight sleeper he is.
But
you know?
what do you think that like do you ever feel weird?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Oh,
Like you
weird?
must feel no, but like you must feel when you experience stuff like this. You must feel weird as fuck sometimes. But do you? Because you know it's not a usual thing for people to experience. Like, because you've experienced all kinds of shit, like out of body experiences and lucid dream, all that stuff. And sleep paralysis. I know a lot of people deals with sleep paralysis, but does that make you feel? Like, does it ever make you question, like, why am I experiencing these things?
no, I think in terms of my experience, like, if it feels like, just in the way, like, you might go to, like, a party and in some, like, mysterious manner, you just sort of attract people that are maybe into this, all of a sudden you notice that, okay, I'm not alone in experience these types of things.
Yeah.
Have any of you like experienced like a lucid dream at least?
No, I've tried for a long time, but it's never. I've never succeeded with it. I've tried, and then I lost my patience.
How did you try? Like what?
Well, I did. First of all, I've read the book that you suggested to me called fuck is it called again? Dreams of Awakening, right? By
Charlie Morley.
Charlie Moore. Yeah. I've tried by setting my alarm to about 4 or 5 hours after I fall asleep, where I then would wake up, and then I would, make my brain awake, but still lay in bed, and I would try to just lay as still as possible, and I would either try to focus on my breathing, or I would do this motion with my fingers, like on the bed, like move my fingers very, very slightly on the bed, and then move them less and less and less and less. So the brain still thinks that the fingers are moving. So this keeps the brain awake, but then your body goes to sleep again, right? So I've tried this. I've tried like fucking, like writing my dreams down.
Yeah.
I've tried really manifesting me being lucid tonight. I'm gonna have a lucid dream tonight. I'm gonna have a lucid dream tonight. I'm gonna have a lucid dream tonight. I'm gonna,
I thought you
before
meant tonight.
Oh no!
Like affirmations.
Well, but the thing is, just because we've talked about this now, the chances are that we in this room will be more likely to remember our dreams tomorrow when we wake up. Because we've spoken about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've tried different, but I don't think that I don't think I've been consistent enough. I think I've gotten close. I've gotten one time to the place where I was almost. I feel like I was almost lucid, but then the sensation took over my body. This tickling sensation, where I then woke up.
Yeah.
Someone's knocking on. That was very scary.
Someone's knocking on the door. No, was that not just fireworks?
Something outside, yeah.
What the fuck, man? You guys talking about that shit? We have this kind of lighting. Look at Hashim is fucking scared. Did you hear it?
No, it's fireworks. We can close the
Well,
window.
why the fuck do you have fireworks at this time?
Fireworks now? Maybe it's it might be Tivoli.
Yeah, bro. You see, that's why I say, why the fuck are we talking about this, man? There's no point. There's like fireworks happening then.
Oh, it's because this guy, he's still on the computer.
Hashim's doing with the
Yeah,
picture of the
man.
guy.
Yeah.
That really fucking startled me, man. Fuck this shit. Why'd you do this with the lights? It doesn't help.
No, it helps a lot. It's
No,
just
man.
this.
Fuck, man.
Fits the vibe, man. Yeah.
Check.
Oh shit.
You scared?
Yeah.
You actually scared?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. You guys know me, man. I don't like this kind of
Bro,
shit.
out of the
man.
shit you experienced in Brazil, bro, you should not be scared of anything now.
Oh, bro, in Brazil,
Okay.
it's just like real shit. Here, it's like, I don't know. Like, you see a guy with a gun running towards you, you know it's a guy with a gun. You know what I mean? And then you fucking run. But he's like, I don't know.
How did
It's
that-
the unknown.
How did that feel back then, man? Did that feel normal in Brazil?
Like
Like
guys-
seeing guns and shit like that were like
normal?
Yeah, did it ever just become normal for you to see guns and stuff like that? not carried by the police, but by people? You know, were you just used to it from an early age?
For me, I don't know if it would be normal, but it would be at some point become more like kind of, yeah. I mean, it's people have it. I guess it's a good answer. People have it.
Yeah.
You know, because
And you were aware of it from an early age.
the people have it.
Yeah, the people have guns.
Yeah, because I saw them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it became normal for you.
It didn't become normal because for me, I never had it myself. I didn't know how it works. So
Yeah.
for me, it was always like almost kind of like they don't know. But I knew it can't hurt you. You know, if you get a splash of it or a little burn of it, it fuck you up. So you know, but yeah, I mean, like I didn't want to get used to it, and I'm glad I didn't because
No, but you're still used to the thought. Not that you were carrying yourself, but you're used to the thought of this was a normal thing.
yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. Up until a point, this is still fireworks, right?
Yes, I see the fireworks. But
Oh,
it's
okay,
right
cool.
there.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Just for me to feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it got into a point. Do you want to close the window?
Close the window.
Thank you.
Go on.
I want you to hear me. Can you still hear me? Yeah, you can, right? Yeah, man. It got. I'm glad that it was just. I mean, in a way, I'm just glad that I didn't get shot. I think that's that's what I'm trying to say.
Were you close at some point?
Did you get shot?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I mean, you know the story that they cracked my head in half.
What?
They cracked my head in half with the gun.
Never heard about that before.
Yes, you did.
Swear to God. Have you heard about this?
Yeah. Hashim heard about this.
I didn't hear
I know
about
Hashim for 4 hours. Yeah, you heard about it. You just
I have
forgot.
not. Okay, well, tell the story then.
So basically, you know, I have a lump right here in my head, right? Like, you don't know about that either.
I swear to God, I don't.
Okay. You never heard that? Like, I got.
Try to explain it, then maybe I will.
Okay,
be
recollect,
reminded.
alright.
Yeah.
I was. This was like when I was probably. Excuse me. I was probably like 12. And I was going from my grandmother's house to play soccer because I used to play soccer as a kid, and it was just like that's where I did most of my time. And as we walked, you know, knowing the neighborhood like that I grew up in, I mean, basically, you know, everyone around it. And when you see a different face, you know it's a different face because, you know, like you kind of know each other in the neighborhood because you never move, you know, like you always, like if you're from that neighborhood, you always stay on that neighborhood.
Yeah.
The same thing with Islams, you know, you never, if you're from Islam, it's almost like Christiania. You stay over there. Christiania, is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're from there, you hang out with the people from there. I assume that's kind of how it works, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, people outside of Christiania, a lot of people outside of Christiania also goes there to hang out because they know people that live there. But yeah,
Okay.
there is a very tight community there, and everybody that lives there, they know each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel the same thing, but like, well, where I came from. So yeah, so it was this time that like I just had this guy that kind of like followed us in a way, and it was like.
In your neighborhood.
Yeah, in our neighborhood was kind of like following us, and you know, without the experience of like knowing everyone around you, I feel like, and that's the great thing about what shaped who I am right now. It's just like I was always so aware of everything. I'm aware right now there was a silence, shit like that, you know. I feel like it just really like kind of like helped me to build who I am right now. But yeah, I was always like so aware of everything. So I saw this guy like just following us, like you know, way behind us, and out of the blue, the guy's behind us. And he was like, oh yeah, with his hand inside of like a bag, and then he's like, I'll give out all your shit.
He tried to rob you.
Yeah, he tried to rob us. And way before that, I knew the guy would kind of somehow try to do something with us. I had my phone inside my underwear. And the guy was like, oh, give me your phones. Give me your phones and stuff.
How old was this guy again?
I don't know.
And
When he was robbing me, why would I fucking ask him his age?
No, but answer my question. Like,
Yeah.
how old were you and how old was he? Like, what was the age difference between you guys?
between me and the robber.
Was it an old man or was it a young guy your age? Like, you know what I mean?
No, he
God
was.
damn, bro.
Well, but you guys know what I mean?
How the fuck?
How old was it?
How old was it? Like, you know, were you the same age? Or
No,
like,
but the way that you said, I was like, yeah, hold on a second, Robin, but just can tell your age for a second. No, I guess like I was like 12, 13 or something like that.
Okay.
14, and then he was probably like in his late 20s, I guess.
okay.
So yeah, and I had put my phone in my pants, and like a very like street smart thing to do. And my cousin, which was from the farm, and it was like probably his third week in town. He had moved to town. The guy was just like with his hand inside of the bag, saying like, "Oh, give me your phones." And then I remember like my cousin already giving his shoes and shit like that, like, you know, he's like, "Yeah, have everything now, you know, like what else you want, you know?" Like looking in his pocket, I was like, "Oh yeah, I got more money here," and giving to the guy. And I remember I was like, "Nah, man, check it out, I got nothing on me, right?" And in the meanwhile, I have this massive like ball in my like around my, you know, around the nut area, let's call it.
Yeah.
And that was my phone, and it was almost clear that you could see there was a phone there, you know. But anyway, so and then the guy just kept like asking and stuff. So I'm not fucking around, and I assume he was actually on some type of drugs, because that's how usually like people do most of the time. Because to do something like that, you gotta be on, you know. But
Okay.
I assume. But so yeah, so he keeps screaming at me, "No, give me all your fucking shit. I know you have something on you. I know you have something." And I was like, "No, man, I because I was used to it."
Yeah.
In a way that's just like, you know, I was almost like brought up to understand that this is gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
That's how you brought up in Brazil, in a way, where I came from. And at some point he was like, he takes the gun out.
Okay.
He was like, "Listen, look, I'm not fucking around with you." And I look at the gun, and in my head, I'm like, "Oh, that's a fake gun."
Oh, you crazy fuck. Huh?
Yeah. And then he still was like, "Nah, man, ain't got nothing on me." He was like, "I'm not fucking around with you." So he just get the gun and hit right here in my head. Like right here. You saw that, didn't you, Hashim? You saw that too. I have like and then just kind of crack open my fucking head, and like, you know, just kind of like bled for a little bit, but yeah, and after that I was like, "Oh shit, that's a real gun." So yeah, what do you want? No, but like no, I in the end I didn't give him anything, but yeah, that was the experience. Like,
Still didn't get your phone, huh?
No, he didn't. I had it on me.
God damn, man.
You know, and that why I told you this, and I told you this too, is because like in Brazil the value of material things is just so different from other countries, such as especially in Europe, bro. Like in terms of like how we value everything. Like, you know, a phone, my mom had to work for that phone 9 months to fucking pay for it. And you ask me, yeah, that was so stupid, why didn't you just give the phone? I was like, my mom was fucking dying for it. So
you can't just buy a new one. The
exactly,
next day,
you know, my mom almost killed herself for it. So like, yeah, if a guy come get a gun, I should like, you know, let him kill myself too, because like that, I, you know, kind of like, I understand how much my mom had to go through for it.
For sure.
Right now, the way that I am, I'm doing okay. I don't, you know, I feel it's kind of stupid, but at the same time, I understand why as a kid. You know? But you just think about the fact that like a kid, 12 years old, have that kind of mentality. You know, it's I don't know. I feel there's something about it that's kind of very, it's sad, you know?
I want to say, bro, congratulations to you for you to have turned out the way you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment right there in terms of what you experienced out of those kinds of situations and stories from back then. It's like for you to have turned out the way you have now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a beautiful, like fucking healthy man, you know what I mean? You're funny, you seem healthy up here sometimes.
Okay, here
and it's like, no, but for real though, it's like,
that's how he gives me compliments.
Yeah, it's out of love, but that's a great fucking journey, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure a lot of people would have cracked somewhere along this path, you know what I mean? Because
everything to movies, bro.
huh?
Everything to movies. Movies saved my life, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's not a second that, like, you know, in my mind, it doesn't cross. like that. Oh yeah, it would be cool if this was in the movie, or it would be cool if like something that you said would be.
Yeah.
You know, because as soon as it got into Europe, but there was something about like meeting you guys in Paris and doing what we do. That like it really put my head in like in the right spot to actually like, you know, be the way I am, like you guys, and yeah. What's your guys like what's your guys' relationship with movies though? You specifically who writes, and how much
to movies?
how much of it do you feel like it's a part of you, and how much like credit you give to movies sometimes? Because
in general, honestly, not a lot. More music.
Music.
Yeah, even though I don't sing, I don't play any instruments, I don't do nothing.
Wow, interesting.
But still, it's like I've never been. I like watching movies, obviously, but I've never been or considered myself like a film nerd. I love talking about films and I love, but I've never considered myself like really and like this movie just really saved my life, or like you know.
But you create it. But I'm talking about your creative process, being involved in it, being able to create it, because I know how important it is to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't make it.
Yeah, but what's like what's the question?
Well, the question is how important it is to you, and like
to create.
Yeah.
Oh, to create like to write a film and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, like we talked about it before, it's very important, but then at the same time, it's not important at all. It's just what I find interesting and entertaining to do right now. But I don't know if I'll be making movies and writing movies for the rest of my lives. Right now, in this perspective that I'm sitting in, I can imagine and I can assume that I will be, but I have no idea.
I feel.
You know what I mean? It's like it's what I find interesting right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then obviously wanting to, you know, having something that attracts you, but then wanting to dig deeper into that, wanting to become an even better storyteller, an even better writer, you know what I mean? Then sometimes I go into a period in terms of writing where I nerd about rhythm in dialogue, you know what I mean? And I go into a period of that, and it's like, oh, that's an interesting aspect of writing dialogue that I maybe didn't think about before, the musicality in it. Then I have a whole period where I just focus on that. And then other times it's like, oh, you know, where I geek out about, you know, the subtext, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how you can always play around with saying something but meaning something completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting, and that keeps, like, for me at least, and up until now, I've been writing for only, you know, 2-3 years since we were in Paris. That's when I started writing.
Yeah.
Something that you were in, the play.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Can we say the name? Yeah, right.
Huh?
The Sam Shepard story.
No.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were doing a play at school. In the in our last year together at school, we were doing the final play of the year, I think it was. And I thought I had some. The play was a combination of Sam Shepard plays. Sam Shepard is an American playwright, right?
Yeah.
But then one day I came up to our teacher and I was like, I feel like there could be some, like, it would be funny if this was in the play as well, or this was in the play.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, at our school, he said we were not allowed to write our own stuff for the plays.
Smart.
So he said to me, if you find it online, if you find something like that idea online, then maybe we could consider using it in the play.
Yeah.
So I went home and then I started writing.
Yeah.
And I wrote, like, I think 4 or 5 short plays, right?
Yeah.
And at the top of it, I wrote a short play by Sam Shepard.
Yeah, smart motherfucker.
Yeah, but like a drama teacher like Julian, he's like, he's probably read like most.
Yeah, so he I sent it to him. I sent it to the teacher. I was like, you see, I found this, and he obviously knew that it was me because he knows everything that Sam Shepard has ever written.
Yeah.
But he wanted to, like, he was willing to play along with that. So he was like, oh, good, but don't tell anyone, right?
Yeah.
So one of the plays that I wrote, Alec was in that, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the ending of the show. and well, people from the class and from the school thought that it was this guy Sam Shepard.
Yeah. How important to you was that? Like, because for me, right now, knowing that that was the first thing that he wrote, that blows my fucking mind. But how important
was that the first thing you wrote?
In English?
I feel like it was because I had started writing poetry.
Yeah.
But that was the first, like, I had never written I hadn't written a short film, I hadn't written a short play or anything like that. So that was, because I wrote that, and then I wrote, I think, 3 or 4 other short plays, right? I think 3 of them ended up being in the play that we did at school. One of them that you were in, right? Yeah. But no, it was interesting being able to, because I couldn't say anything to the rest of the class, right? When we were sitting there, and Julian, our teacher, was working with, for example, you and the actress Mathilde, working with you guys on something that I had written. So, and I couldn't say anything, so I could just sit there and watch. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that blew my mind to see my friend act something that I had written. Yeah. You know what I mean? But not being able to. So the feeling of when I actually told them. At the end, I was like, you know, I actually wrote that, like what you acted, like that play there.
Do you remember how he reacted?
Fuck, man. I think I told him when we were up in the north of Paris at some point, right, at the flea market. I think that's when I told you.
Before the show.
Yeah, right before the show. But the other actress, right, that was really funny because, bro, so first of all, like the last show, right, I'm standing in the blinds because I was not in the scene. It was you and it was this girl named Mathilde, right? So I'm standing there and I'm watching the final scene of our show, the one that I wrote, and I'm standing there in the blinds like I'm crying, right? Because it's so touching to me. The other people like from our class are standing next to me. I feel like some of them look at me like, why is this motherfucker crying? Like they don't know either how much that this moment means to me. And they were all dressed up. He was in this suit, and you know the girl, she was in this in her own mother's wedding dress, and there was flowers all over the stage. Wow. And I was crying, and then after the show, people applauded, and we came on, and we had to bow. Yeah. So I'm standing with Mathilde here. I don't know who is here, but Mathilde is right here, right? Yeah. So. We go up, people clap, and then we go down one side, right? And then we go up, and I tell her, you know, that last scene that you just did, I wrote that. And then on the way down again, she looks at me, she's like, what? And, then and she goes down. But that was interesting. Well, but especially since you were by then like my really good friend, and we really let each other in. So that was a beautiful moment.
Mm. And that's why I think it's just so fucking beautiful about it, because like we are constantly not only on each other's lives because we're friends, because we're also creators. And that's why I ask about movies and writing and things like that, because it allows you to tap in something that's just personally to me, it's so special. That it's just so much layers that is created, such as like connection, love, communication, the art itself, the subtext, the way that you do it, the amount of like love that you put into, the amount of like lives that you change with it. There's so much layers that you can like kind of tap into, that it's just like, for me, it goes beyond being just a movie. And that's one thing that was reminding people on this last project that, you know, and that Alec was involved into, which is, by the way, is Motel Marrakesh. You guys can check it out. It's at Motel Marrakesh. And we have an Instagram page, and it will be putting some updates there pretty soon.
He said that he was going to do some advertisement for his film. Before he came to Copenhagen, he was like, bro, can I talk about my film on a podcast? I was like, yeah, do you think, brother?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. But yeah, no, check it out, guys. We'll be having like some sweet things. I'll be posting some stuff after this podcast, so go check it out. You can check out our work that we did. Me and Alec were involved in that.
There we go.
But yeah, so the thing was like, the most beautiful thing was having this guy over here who is a friend of mine, but he's also a creator, which I appreciate being there with me. Yeah. And yeah, the whole experience was great. We come up with the product, and we create something fucking beautiful together. It's hot, right? Fucking
open the window.
Again, the fireworks is finished anyway. How you doing over there, Hashim?
I'm good, but I feel like I'm my pants are sticking to.
Yeah. You just like most of the women I used to date back in the days. Where?
God damn, this is
So,
fun.
But yeah, so because I remember, do you remember this? That we were just I told you this the other day, like having that moment that we,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, drink some water?
No, I'm good. It was for him.
Yeah. Just that moment that we had that was just like, of connection. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't only on that moment, it was throughout the whole thing, like connecting in so many different levels and like getting to know each other in a way that like I can't even explain. Do you know what I'm trying to say or no?
Yeah, I sure do.
Mm.
Yeah, in both of these.
How was that for you actually connecting with, because for you being like the actor, because I feel like for me and you writing our stuff, it's completely different experience than for you as an actor doing your thing. That's just something that like, that we kind of like come from here.
Also,
You know what I
bro, just because Alec, he's one of the most phenomenal actors that I've seen with my own eyes. The stuff that I saw in Paris some of the time, some of the most phenomenal shit I've ever seen. But go on.
And
I just wanted to
loving.
put that
And
disclaimer
loving.
out there so people know what the fuck this is going on at this table right now.
And loving, you're forgetting about that. Alex is the most loving person that you
For sure.
ever fucking meet. But yeah, go on, Alec.
Because you're so lovable.
Oh, you see, look at this. It doesn't stop. He doesn't motherfucking stop. But yeah, Alec. So yeah.
I will say, like, just briefly going back to the play that you wrote that we did, or that I was in. It was such a beautiful experience. But like you said, it's like it started out with our friendship and getting to know each other, and the play was written from like experiences and conversations that we have had, in Paris. So it became a very personal experience to do that. So you were crying backstage, but as soon as we were finished, I was fucking bawling my ass.
That's right. I have seen you cry, man, because we cried together after that.
did.
I
You
remember
did
that.
that.
Yeah, man.
Guys, Alec doesn't cry much, so I haven't seen
No,
that.
but that was a beautiful moment, man. Because we
was-
were both crying after that. I had my bottle of whiskey on stage, and like my mom was there, and like.
Fuck, I'm so jealous of
Do you
him.
remember? Huh?
I'm so jealous of him that I actually saw him
Got-
cry.
But you were there as well, and I remember what you said to me on stage when you came down when the show was finished.
Yeah.
You came down and you looked me into my eyes and you were like, "Now that was fucking acting like to this
to you guys.
yeah, or that was fucking theater or some shit
Yeah,
like that." Yeah, that was beautiful. Do you remember what happened in the beginning of this was also one of the short plays that I wrote, but do you remember what happened in the beginning of the play? Where I had to,
Naked.
That's a
I had to-
fantastic story.
Do you remember this?
The scene that you were in?
where I was naked,
Yeah,
I
let's hear
saw
that story.
Yeah.
bruh. So first of all, let me just set the scene real quick. Okay, front row, my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt is there. Front row.
Your grandmother was there?
Yeah, she was there. Front row.
What the fuck?
Right? So first scene of the or like second scene of the play, right?
Yeah.
I had written a scene where I had to be I was naked, but I was coming from like behind the stage and then stepping from one chair that was behind the stage onto a chair that was in the eyesight of the audience. Do you get me? So I was standing on a chair.
So I don't really
I was
understand
standing
the
on
description, but I know.
Yeah, I was standing on a chair where people could not see me, but then I had to go from that chair, to a chair where all the audience could see me, right?
Yeah.
It was
I'm
like
complete-
it was a frame in terms of like a doorway.
There was a door. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Exactly.
doorway, yeah.
And and I'm butt naked, okay? Butt naked, but going from the side, you know what I mean? And I have my dick between my legs, okay? Because
Did
I'm
you
playing
tape
this
it?
Huh?
Did you tape it?
No, it was I just stuck it
you
in
tuck
between.
it
Yeah.
in. Wow.
So, and keep in mind, my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt is sitting front row. I'm like, fuck, okay. So
Gonna learn today.
I'm thinking to do this really fucking smoothly, to step from one chair to the other chair. Bro, I stepped from that one chair to the other chair. As soon as my first foot hits the other chair, the chair slips, and I fall like, you know, in there. I felt like this was in slow motion, dick swinging around everywhere.
No way.
I feel that my grandmother's getting a heart attack and shit. So I made this very dramatic fall and landed and like just pretended like it was a part of it, right?
Wow.
But I have a video of it, and it's like, yeah.
Do you have it?
Oh, I have the video on my phone.
Way.
Yeah, and I'll show you later. Yeah, of me falling.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll show you later.
But did you?
Yeah, I didn't look into my mother's eyes like for half a year after that.
Really?
No.
But did you try while you're falling not to have like your dick going all over the place? Or
bro, that was the least thing I was thinking about. I didn't give a fuck about my dick at that point, bro.
Wow.
I was just like, I was in the air, and because the chair, right? So I was just there. I was just trying to make sure I didn't fall and like break some shit.
Wow.
But Alec, who's standing in the blinds, right? He's standing out there, and
right
he and the other actors can hear, you know,
so
something does not sound right. Like somebody just fell, right?
That's so fucked up. But the thing is, it's almost like a survival thing. Don't you feel like imagine you, Alec, in a situation like that. Imagine right now. Don't close your eyes, but imagine you close your eyes and then like you're falling.
Imagine you closing your eyes.
Yeah,
bro, you live in another dimension sometimes.
Yeah. And all is in the air is yourself and your dick. You wouldn't try to kind of like cover it and
no, of course not, because we're animals. We don't give a fuck about that. When we're in a situation where, bro, if you
how sad would it have been if like you really, really went for it to protect people's, you know, eyesight out of your your private parts, and but then
I knew he was not gonna say dick. I knew he was gonna say some shit like private parts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm keeping it.
Protect people's eyesight. That's definitely something that Alec would say.
That was the whitest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh yes. Well, I'll do that.
To protect your private parts.
Well, I don't understand. You know, I don't know what's going to be censored or not. You know, let's keep it civilized. Yeah, either. You know, I just like it would have been sad if that's, you know, that would have been your instinct, and then, you know, you break your neck on the chair or whatever. You're like, yeah, well, at least we didn't get to see his dick. You know?
Yeah.
Well, have you ever been in a situation where you like legitimately feared for your life? Not that I was fearing for my life here, falling from the chair.
Yeah.
But where you've been in a place, in a situation, or where you really like you feared for your life. You know what I mean?
He was
like
in the head with a gun, so there's that.
But did you feel like you looked at that gun? You're like, that's not a real gun. I don't feel like you. Were you fearing for your life there?
Not really, man. But like, I do fear for my life, such as like in a situation like that. I would definitely try to save my dick, and I tell you why, because there's life in there if you really think about it. But
I don't think you would, bro.
Huh?
Say if you let's put up a scenario right now, okay? You're outside, sun is shining, you just got out of the shower.
Okay, let me close my eyes for this. Carry on.
You got out of the shower, it's a sunny day, so you decided to walk out, you know, on the street or in your backyard with just a towel on, okay?
How do I walk in the street in my backyard at the same time?
Just one of the, you know, you walk in your backyard, okay? Right. All of a sudden, and you only have a towel, and it's not like you haven't tied this towel really tight around you. You're just holding it with your hand, right?
Okay,
bro. If at any point a guy comes in with a gun or an axe or some shit like that,
why? Okay,
no, and he chases you, right? Okay. You are not going to be holding this towel around your waist while you run for your life. You're gonna drop that shit, and you're gonna run through the streets of wherever the fuck you live.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna think about your dick swinging everywhere. You're just not. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I would never ever hold the towel, but I would definitely hold my dick. And I tell you why though.
Would you hold honestly, bro? You can open your eyes now if you want to.
Okay, all right.
Would you honestly? Like, would you care about that if a guy was chasing you and you were fearing for your life?
Bro,
I don't think you would.
I would. And I'll tell you why. I jumped fences before.
Fences before?
Yeah. And the worst thing that I want, I would much rather get an axe in my fucking neck than having my fucking dick ripped by a fence and dying like that. That is the worst.
No, I'm not talking about jumping. I'm just talking about if you run down the street,
Yeah.
right? Would you rather have that people would be able to see your dick full
Yeah.
on, but it will save your life because you wouldn't be focused on that, so you would be
Yeah.
able to run faster, right?
Yes.
Or would you have to worry about, you know, holding your hand there,
Yeah.
not being able to run fast enough with the
Yeah.
possibility of getting killed?
I see what you mean, but my point, you're not seeing my point though. What I'm saying is that it's not what I'm not worrying about people seeing my dick. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm running, so you're gonna see some
Exactly.
of
So
it.
why would you hold it when you're
Because I don't
running
want
for
it-
your life?
Yeah, but I don't want it to be ripped while I jumped in a fucking fence or something, or a dog get it or something like
Bro,
that.
say
You're
you
not-
don't have to jump through a fence.
Okay,
You're
what
just running.
yes,
Would you hold it? Yes or no?
yes. What
Why?
if there's a dog or something that could like really fucking take? Like, you guys don't think about that sometimes. Like life. Remember we're talking about the shit that happens to us that you don't expect.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you gotta think like, almost like think as life like you have to hold it like you would hold your dick, because if you don't do that, you fucking rip it off from me, and all you have now is no fucking dick, and you fucked up. Do you know what I'm saying, man? Anyways, man, you guys don't see my knowledge over here, but it's some deep shit, man. It's like stuff that you have to go home tonight and like I'm just telling you. Yeah, exactly. Hashim is with me.
You're something else, you know that.
Yeah.
You're something else, but I love you, man.
All right, man, I love you too. Fuck this shit. You guys don't see my goddamn point, man. It's not about the people, it's about the fucking dog, man. Put my glasses back on.
Yeah, bro.
You guys didn't say anything about my glasses, by the way.
Your glasses are beautiful. You do remind me of I told you before, but of a guy like from a a cocaine head from like a stylish 70s, you know what I mean? Film made by maybe made by Scorsese or some shit like that. You know what I mean? You could be in a Scorsese film, like the 70s, 80s. You know, they're that type of stylish, bro. Are you happy now? You got your compliment?
I don't know what to say to that because I don't know if it's a compliment.
I don't know either, but it was
Exactly.
something. It was something though.
A
Yeah.
coke head? What's that even mean? That like I do coke?
But
And
stylish though.
Yeah, I said stylish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a coke head who does like stuff, nice stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Okay,
sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, I guess.
What's your favorite film, bro?
My favorite film.
Yeah.
That was you being a bunny again. I think it keeps changing, man. But I feel right now it's fucking The Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm.
I haven't seen it actually.
Yeah, it's a great. It's just because I love a lot of characters. My thing is like every time that I write something, I put at least another extra 5 characters in the story because I love the idea of like focusing more in characters and allowing like, you know, instead of one character being the main focus of the story, but several.
Yeah, and Tarantino has that, right? He's really good at having several people. Like if it's Pulp Fiction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at some point in that film, or in Pulp Fiction, you root for Jules and Vince. No, Vincent.
Yeah.
What's his character's name? Is it
Vincent, yeah.
Vincent what? Vincent Vega.
Vincent Vega.
Yeah, you root for them. At some point, you root for Butch. Bruce Willis character.
Yeah.
At some point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
he's so good at this, at
Yeah.
creating empathy for many people in the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
You know,
I've personally, I found it difficult to find a person to root for in Hateful Eight, but I think maybe
Oh,
that's what made it
okay.
interesting, though, right?
That's why it's so great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you didn't know who to root for in that.
What you did?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
seen
I'm
it,
sorry.
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
No, it feels like a group of villains in a way, you know. But
Yeah.
not that you can't empathize or like at least understand, you know, where they're coming from. You know, that's why it's great storytelling. You know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's
agree.
just a master of taking a lot of characters and making them all equally interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I feel like I'm very interested in like in characters, because it's like one single character, usually you can create a story out of that character, right?
Yeah.
But with 7 motherfucking characters, you can create 7 motherfucking stories out of them.
Yeah. Like in fucking Reservoir Dogs did the same thing.
For example,
Reservoir Dogs did the same
never
thing.
thought
man.
about that. That's such a good point. He actually does do like a lot of characters that I never thought about that.
Yeah, no, he definitely does. In what do you say, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I know it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt that are like the main, but still, like it is like
Several, yeah.
These ensemble casts, sort of.
And it's funny you said Pulp Fiction, because there's like you guys know that scene with Mr. Wallace, like the boss.
Yeah, where he's getting raped.
No, not that one, but the one that he talks about, like with the butch for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When he's sitting where you can't see his.
You can't see him at all. It's just the monologue.
It's just the plaster
and it's the shot on the
yeah.
And then he's talking about. He says about he goes like in the 5th round, something like that. You might feel like slight sting.
Yeah.
That's what he says, like that's ego fucking with you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what that monologue? I just love that monologue so much. He goes like, in the 5th round, you might feel a sting, and that's fucking ego fucking with you, or something like that. He says something like that.
Yeah.
But my point is just like, just think about, like, for example, that specific moment that he's like talking about, that specific moment with Butch, right? And I guess that's why I mentioned like the hateful way. It's just all those little things that he does, in terms of like him not even being on the shot, just the voice of him being like, and then that gives so much power. I don't know if that was the DOP or Tarantino's choice, but yeah, I mean, like, it's just again, Pulp Fiction, so it's just a great movie. And
it's just crazy how much of a legendary status that film has.
Yeah,
like,
Jesus.
Why is it that film is known as one of the best films ever?
Yeah,
like
one of them for sure.
One of them, yeah, no, for sure, because everyone, you know what I mean. You ask everyone, you have to look very, very far to find someone who's like, I hate that film.
Yeah,
I hate Pulp Fiction. You know what I mean?
Sure. What do you think, Alec? Why do you think that?
Why is it that is such a
I gotta take a break.
You gotta take a piss?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You gotta take a piss?
Yeah, but you.
With me, we just continue.
Okay, let's go.
We just continue. Yeah, you do your thing. But yeah.
You're asking me that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about that. Like, why is it? Because it's first of all, it's a film.
I love you, by the way.
It's a film. It's 2 hours long, maybe. Like
2
many.
2 hours and a half. I saw it.
2 hours and a half.
Shall we close the door that way it doesn't bounce the sound so much?
Like many other films, it's 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
It has characters, like any other film. You know, it has a story. It has it has many plots in it because you follow different characters. But why is it that it's so good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel he was very daring in that movie. Hashim, have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid. Actually.
Yeah, do you remember?
I don't know.
You don't.
But I told myself I'm.
Oh, you haven't seen it lately?
No.
Oh, bro, we're watching that soon.
Yeah,
sure.
maybe tonight. Yeah, that's definitely something we could do. So I feel like the fact that like he was very daring in that movie.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I saw that movie with a friend of mine, and she was a woman, right? And the first thing I was watching them, because I've seen the movie several times, and I was watching that movie. I wasn't watching them. I was watching her watching the movie. I was looking at her throughout the whole movie because she was very close to me. I wanted to see her reaction to that movie, and then she's just getting into the movie world, and then I want to see what was her reaction to probably one of the greatest movies ever created, right? And out of the whole movie, the only scene that she was like, ooh, and then she couldn't even kind of not look at it, it was the rape scene.
Bro, that's one of the best scenes ever. I fucking love that.
Right? Why do you think it's a great scene?
So
Tell
first
me
of
why
all,
you think
okay,
personally.
I'll tell you why Tarantino is a master, and he portrays it in this specific scene.
Yeah, shout out to Tarantino, by the way, if he listens to this or something.
Sure. But why he's a master is he takes something very, very dark,
Yeah.
like a grown man getting raped by another grown man,
Yeah.
right? Rape in general is just dark as fuck,
Right.
okay? He takes that, but he turns it into one of the funniest scenes that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, he makes you empathize with...
Funny scene, yeah. You were
Huh?
right. It was pretty funny.
It was, though.
Yeah.
He makes you empathize with Marcellus Wallace, who's the one being
Yeah.
raped, right?
Yeah.
And what's funny...
Are you
is
okay?
that-
Nah, man, I'm pretty far from okay.
wait, we're gonna come to
I'm
that.
pretty fucked up.
Because throughout the entire film, or up until this point, you viewed Marcellus Wallace as this, this demon, this man that cannot be touched. He's strong. He's so, you know what I mean?
Who
He's
threw
all
the
this-
guy out of the window, yeah.
Yes, he did
Yeah.
all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see this man that we have now put up to being something, fucking, out of this world.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he is being fucked in the ass by another man. And he is vulnerable as shit. He can't do nothing. And then what Tarantino does is, here comes the fun part, obviously, is that he tells us how much the status means to Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah.
By making Marcellus Wallace say the line that you just said, okay, because Butch asked him,
Yeah.
"Are you okay?" He's like, "No,
Can we
man."
do this in place? Can I be Marcelo Wallace? Please?
Okay, good. Are you
So,
okay?
You go.
Are you okay?
Nah, man. I'm pretty far from okay.
And then,
He goes like,
no, but then because Marcellus Wallace, he says, "Nah, man, I'm pretty fucking far from okay." And then he's like, "One thing though, we don't tell nobody about this.
yeah.
This shit stays between me and you."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that is like to take something as dark and gritty as
Yeah.
that and turn it into a funny thing, which he's a master of. He does it in all his films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's in the Inglourious Bastards, where he, the Jew, I think he's called, the guy
Jew
with
hunter, you mean?
with the baseball bat.
Yeah.
The
Played by
way-
Christopher Waltz.
The way that guy slams that other man's
Oh, wow, yes.
the other man's face with a baseball bat, it's hilarious
Yeah.
and dark at the same time.
Yeah.
Not many people can do that in such a way that Tarantino does.
But you're missing the point. At the same time, the people are screaming in the background just as it is a baseball match. Did you see that?
Oh yes, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
They're cheering on him.
Share him.
You know?
Just as it is a baseball. It's stuff like that you're just like, what the fuck this guy come from?
Yeah.
But back to that scene. So I was watching with my with this friend of mine, and she was just so fucking shocked by it. I was like, so what is so shocking about it? She was like, raping. Like, and I understood. She explained, like, as a woman, this is such a, like, we as a man, we don't go out there like being really scared of getting raped. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
You guys know.
It's
what
not a
I'm saying.
fear in general, yeah.
Right? You don't go out there and, like, so she was like, it's a very touchy subject. And I was like, oh, yeah, I completely understand that. She was like, I don't understand why he put on that. I think that was too much. And I was like, yeah, I see what you mean, but just look at this in this perspective, all right? So Butch, who's like, he fucked up. He did what he did. He did what he did to Marcel Wallace,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And you kind of don't really like kind of root for him on that situation, right? And then he's about to leave because he managed to get out of the chair, and then he's leaving. The fact that for a second, he was like, yeah, fuck this guy. He was trying to kill me and so on. And if I come back there might be a chance that he might kill me, but he's getting fucking raped.
Yeah.
So in his mind, he's like,
He saved his life.
he went over there. I was like, fuck, this is fucked up. I need to go there and save his life, right?
Yeah.
That, because it's a rape, makes Butch likable because he saved that guy's life. So it's even more, it goes farther beyond than just being a scene about rape.
Yeah.
It makes his character a good character by saving that man's
That creates
life,
empathy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
him right there.
right? Because he saved someone from rape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know if he thought about that. I'm pretty sure he did, but like this is one of those things.
100% he did.
No, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that empathy goes beyond whatever disagreements they might have had, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because Marcellus Wallace, he tells him, if you leave the city right now, I won't, like, we will forget all about this.
Yeah.
But you have to leave the city now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll get medieval in the ass. You hear me, white boy? We're gonna get a couple of brothers and we're gonna get medieval in your ass. Oh man, fucking hell.
We're gonna get medieval on your ass.
Yeah, you hear me, white boy, when he says white
On your
boy.
fucking ass.
Oh man, it's just so many fucking great lines from that movie that it's just like it feels. You guys look how it makes us feel. It's good to quote it because it's just so.
Exactly. There's so
well
many good
said.
quotes in it, man.
Well
so
said
many,
as well.
yeah.
It's like all those characters, like it's just everything. It's like I give a line to someone that I might think it's not good, and that motherfucking actor says it just in the way that's just like. Is that feeling, you know that.
Yeah.
Writing something and then you give it to a motherfucker like this who's just like, he read my script for the first time. He was the first one to see it. And as he was reading it, he read all the characters because I wanted to hear how he sounds, right?
Yeah.
He said some shit that was just like, wow, like fuck, it really opens my mind. And then you questions yourself, is he good writing? Or is it you have good actors? I personally,
It's a combination.
here, look at my hand right here.
Yeah.
That's a balance, you know. So I feel it's like definitely like a balance, but like it's that balance, that translation that we're constantly looking for. That like, you know, gotta get medieval in your ass, which is such a great line, you know. Like
The translation we're constantly looking for.
yeah, trying to translate what it's in here to get something as good as like, let me get medieval in your, we're gonna get medieval in your ass, you know.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just the line, get medieval in your ass. His tone, the way that he said,
Yeah.
you hear me, white boy? You know, like all that. It's just like the whole thing. It's just they made it so fucking great, you know. Like
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure.
so. Yeah, as a whole, I feel like movies. It just it allows us to tap in all those things, you know. Like I cried the first time I read his script.
Which one?
In the one in the Sam Shepard one, I was crying.
The one
Oh,
that,
yeah.
the one
With
that
the
you
dad.
played in.
With no,
Yeah,
no,
I
with
remember because you were in my room in Paris, and we were
Yeah.
not that close yet.
Yeah,
Because you, I think it was one of the times where
Yeah.
you were cutting my hair. You came out of my apartment, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
I was like, "Can you read this?"
yeah.
And you read it,
It was in a motel as well, wasn't it?
bro. But yeah, exactly. But let me tell you something, bro. You have no idea how much that moment meant to me. Because first of all, that was like the first writing that I did, like I said before.
Yeah,
But having someone sitting right next to me, getting
wow.
water out of their eyes from something that blew my fucking mind, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm a very sensitive guy, man. Like I feel like I cry. And like the other day, I had this like very very strong like kind of wind hitting my neck. I start to cry.
Because of the wind.
I don't know what it was, but I was crying. But I know that the wind hit me hard in the neck, you know. Like, but no, I'm serious, man. Like I cry
Because of the wind.
That was such a fucked up way to
Bro, it happened to me as well the other day.
right? Yeah, you know what I mean, man. But like Alec, I saw his movie. Even like I'm about to tell you something even more crazy than that. I saw his movie, which was Angel.
Mm.
You know that he like personally, I've seen most of the stuff that he's done. Personally, I hope you don't get this like true person. I think that was the best performance I've ever seen by you.
Mm.
That hurts maybe a little bit. I know.
No,
I want to see that film.
He was just so, and I was crying. I was fucking pouring into tears watching Alec seeing that, and I tell you why. That was something that he's done probably his maybe first or like kind of experience or something. I don't know, but it was just the fact that like I could see him 10 years ago doing what he's doing, and the time that he was doing that we were watching it, he was in my movie. So the movie that he was doing back then allowed me to see him back then, allowed to see his talent, allowed to see what he could do, what he could become, and what he was experiencing at that moment. It's everything that even more. That fucking hit me right here, man. And that was just like fucking pouring into tears. And then like I remember like telling him I was crying. He was like, hey, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I was like, yeah, no, it's just because the fact that I could see you back then. And I could
God
see,
damn.
you know, like
time
No, but that's-
travel in a way.
in a way, man, but like an emotional time travel. And yeah, man, I don't know, that movie really, I just wish that like we have to make Sammy watch that shit, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna get some tears as well, because it's just fucking beautiful, man.
It was directed. Shout out to my cousin Jacqueline Andrian.
She directed.
She
Yeah.
directed
So,
it. Yeah. She
yeah.
wrote it. Yeah, she wrote it. She directed it. Yeah.
Fucking beautiful.
No, but
piece of art.
that's right. No, this guy's a fucking beast
Yeah.
when it comes to acting, and I'm
And
very.
voice.
I'm
Gotta
ve-
give that to him. His
and what?
voice.
Oh, his voice.
Oh,
No,
Right,
this guy
right,
can
right now
imitate
my voice is
everything.
kinda
But
fucked
I'm very excited to see for the both of you very much to see to follow this journey that we're on, and that we sort of started together in a way. It started way before Paris subconsciously, but like a lot of things were done to us in Paris. Like it opened up a lot of doors. You know what I
for
mean?
sure, man.
Us meeting each other, the experiences we had there in the school and all that stuff. So I'm very, very excited to follow this journey that we're on, and that you guys are on as well. You know what I mean?
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? So now it's 2022, right?
Yeah.
And we're doing this right now. I can't wait to see maybe in 2026.
Oh,
we're doing this
goddamn.
again. What
Oh,
we're
for
gonna
sure,
be, oh, how we're gonna be doing, and in
You
things
already
like that.
know, man. You already know. I hope.
know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy, man. And that's what, like, I think the thing that I looked forward the most,
Yeah.
because it's something that I know that's somehow like it's gonna be even greater, because I know you keep working. Alec never stops, and I'm always trying my best to keep working 24/7. And
Oh, you sure do. I gotta say, like, because I had the privilege to work with you and having you as a director recently for your project Motel Marrakesh, which was just a beautiful experience. Because having seen you, we got to know each other, as we've said many times now, in Paris. And I saw you as an actor, and then just seeing you grow into like directing, and then just being a visionary and a creator, and just how you bring people together, and the experience because we shot basically a first part, or like a pilot, if you will, for a larger project with the same name, and that was like living out in the archipelago. But correct me if I'm wrong. We were kind of in the archipelago.
it wasn't the archipelago,
No.
but was close to it.
Mm.
The archipelago
Yeah.
was across the water. We
Yeah.
were inland. I felt like an archipelago. I think
it
that's
was
what he meant.
Mainland. Yeah. Now we're getting just out in nature, and
Yeah.
had a few cabins, like you said, and we're 15 people, and you know this as well, it being, because as an actor, you come in and do your best to serve a story that resonates with you, but also that someone has written or imagined, and so on. And you bring your imagination into it and everything.
Yeah.
But the experience of having imagined something, written it down, and being like, oh, I would like to see this in the medium of film.
It's fucking crazy.
And then all of a sudden you're
crazy.
surrounded by
Yeah.
people that are willing to create that with you. Not even willing, but like hungry to create that with you if you
Yeah.
find the right people. And I got goosebumps right now.
I have
You know,
goosebumps in my fucking ass.
And
right
it was
Sorry.
yeah. So
Forget what I said. It's just a beautiful moment.
yeah.
That's what I meant.
No, yeah. I just I'm genuinely so like really proud of what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I
And,
appreciate
yeah.
it, man. Appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And
That's
was-
beautiful, man. That
Yeah.
is fucking beautiful.
and that kind of stuff that he was constantly like Alec, who's only like not only like my friend. While he was there, he was just so fucking present, man.
Yeah.
And so was everyone else. But like Alec was that person that like everyone have a different way of doing it. And Alec was that person that was just like I didn't have to kind of worry so much, because I don't know if because there's a layer that he understands what I've gone through, what I had to do to put that movie together. They start with the with the cane, for example. But yeah, so it was a lot that had to be sacrificed for that, and I guess there's some of that he understands yeah, I mean, he was just there for me and everyone else. Shout out to my fucking crew, man. God damn it, I found some crazy, sharp, talented motherfuckers. You know, like just some crazy people. I'm not gonna even name them because it's so many, and I might forget some. I might forget some of them. I'm very bad with names, but they know who they are, and I love you guys to death, and I appreciate you guys for like believing in something that came from here.
Yeah, let's see if any of them listen to this podcast. We'll see. Yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing, man, and it's beautiful being able to, as friends, inspire each other all the time through stuff that we do, stuff that we say, stuff that we don't know, you know, whatever. It's beautiful. I think we should slowly wrap this up. We've done 3 hours now.
Wow.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Was it 3 hours for real?
Yeah, it's 3 hours exactly now. 3 hours and 33 seconds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
333.
First, yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for being on here.
Thanks,
It was a great pleasure.
Oh,
I said
thank you so much for
in
having
the
us.
beginning. It was
A pleasure.
marvelous diving into these different subjects, like both personal and non-personal. But it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, man, it was
I
great.
had a great time, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man, and I'm looking forward to the next one. To be honest.
That's that shit.